Let me just confirm broadcast is live on YouTube. Aloha, and thank you everyone for joining in once again for another one of our Paradigm Shift Central broadcasts. This is our Conscious Media Creator Support Circle. My name is Brendon, aka Mystic Spider-Man, Skull Babylon. Excited to be able to have you here once again with another fellow collective group of fellow conscious media creators. And I'll just switch over to gallery view and just bring everyone up on camera real quick. You guys can just kind of say hello and wave to the awesome people who are tuned into this broadcast. We've got a lot of creators all across the world, so thank you everyone for joining in. And again, we got myself so far, Brendon, we've got Dillon, Parker, Kyron, Cassius, Eloise, and Fascinating Fairy, and as well as a couple people off camera as well. So we'll get right into the start of things. And again, for those of you in the YouTube chat, do me a favor, drop an 1111 in the chat just to confirm that you guys can hear me loud and clear. And I'll go over a bit of a overview of what the broadcast intention is, a little bit about the Paradigm Shift Central project, and then from there we're going to be basically passing the talking stick around and giving the fellow creators here a chance to just kind of share like what we're up to, like what we are up to as fellow conscious media creators, and the things that we are focusing on, as well as where we envision ourselves like in the next like coming weeks and months, and also any of the challenges and any of the collaboration opportunities that we are currently involved with that we maybe want to be able to offer as an invite for other creators to be a part of. So thank you again to those of you who tune in on all platforms. Again, you can find us on Spotify, Paradigm Shift Radio, and you can also check out the Discord link in our profile where you can connect into the ongoing events featured by members in our community. And you can join on the Patreon, which will give you access to joining ongoing events and lots of other awesome support within the community to be able to help feature you as well. So again, for those of you who are involved here, you guys are welcome to just continue to be involved if I personally invite you. And again, if you're interested in joining on the Patreon, feel free to check that out, help support the ongoing creation of these circles. And again, for those of you who are just tuned into this, check out the Patreon if you're curious about being able to join in for future ongoing events. There's a couple of upcoming events that I'll be doing. One of them I mentioned before, it's going to be another like just spiritual seeker support circle, which are really cool. And another one's going to be like a special support circle kind of like about like discussing like sacred anger and sacred rage. So that's something to look forward to in the future. And again, we also got our dream discussion circle and lots of other cool stuff. So thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys help make this broadcast possible. And other than that, you'll also find the link for all the fellow creators featured in this broadcast in the info below. So be sure to follow them, subscribe, check out their stuff, leave some comments, reach out if you resonate with what it is that they are here to be able to share today. And so with that, we'll get into just like a little bit of a meditation. And then from there, we'll start going around the circle. There's some really cool stuff that I want to be able to share with you guys, but I'll just kind of mention it during the start, and then we'll get into a little bit more just so we can make sure everybody else is just sharing before I dive too deep into it. Some of you have already seen me post about this. So there's this new app that I've recently got involved with called Ibble, and I've been like working alongside some of the production team that's been creating it for the past like 3.5 years. Basically, it's a pretty cool app, and I'm excited to be able to like tell you guys about it because, and I'll talk more about this later. Part of what my focus is right now is being able to help Ibble be able to bring people into Ibble to be able to create more of a conscious community in Ibble. And the basic format with Ibble is that Ibble is basically like a video platform where people can reply to someone's video with their own video and create a thread of videos. So whereas comments would be like one picture on Instagram, comments, this would be like one cool video post. I would propose a interesting question or opportunity for people to connect, and then like videos. And it kind of creates like a living conversation that exists outside of space and time where people can add into it on the fly, which is a pretty cool feature that I haven't really seen anywhere else. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that because I want to be able to see what it will look like when we get a few more people joined in there, and to really be able to just kind of slowly build up a pretty cool, awesome community. And I'll tell you more about what I got planned for that. The link for Ibble is in the info for this video. So for those of you who are eager, check it out. It's not currently available in Australia, UK. It's available in like US and some parts of Canada. So I was fortunate to be able to get it. And yeah, we'll talk to you more a bit about that as we go, and just search Ibble on the App Store and on the Android and iOS store as well. So let's get into a little bit of meditation, and then I'll dive in just a little bit about like what I'm doing, but then we'll go on past the talking stick round. And if I don't get to talking about Ibble right away, we'll get talking about it a little bit more. But long story short, on Ibble, you can just follow me on Mystic Spider-Man and stay tuned for more stuff there. So let's get into a little bit of a meditation. And again, the intention of the space, like it's fun because, you know, even like I was pretty busy just kind of like taking care of, like I was in the kind of like dad mode all day, just helping with Lacey and taking care of the son since school's out and stuff. And then I'm kind of like, oh, you know, by the end of the day, I'm pretty tired. But then coming here, I'm just like, you know what, this space, just being in this space, I get excited about it because this is a chance for me to just kind of like hang out with like my artist friends. And we're not just artists, right? Like we're literally people who are answering a call within inside of our heart that want to be able to help make the world a better place by serving others. And so that's a big part about what being a conscious media creator is about. So I salute each and every single one of you who are here in the circle. Those of you who are tuned in, again, anybody who's tuned into this, you are a conscious creator. You are conscious, whether you're a conscious media creator, that can be kind of another thing, but we're all conscious creators. And so just inviting all of us to just be able to see the role that we play. And again, happy 2022, moving into a big year, and let's create as much as we can as creators and really be able to help direct people towards an inspiring story and lead them back to the heart. So if anything I say resonates with you, drop an 11 in the chat. Again, I'm here to be able to hold space, hype you guys up, share some awesome like things that other people are creating, support and feature other creators, and yeah, to be able to bring together a pretty awesome community. So let's get into a little bit of a meditation, and then from there we'll start passing, talking, stick around, and I'll hold off on the Ibble stuff. I'll tell you guys more about that as we go. And then we'll just pass it to somebody else once we finish our meditation and go from there. So thank you again to those of you on YouTube and Instagram, those of you on TikTok and Instagram. Click the link in my profile. Tune in on YouTube. For everybody else, let's get ready for a short little meditation. And yeah, we'll just drop into our heart space real quick. So just inviting everyone to just be able to take an opportunity to just slow themselves down. Just give yourself this permission to connect with your breath. Maybe this is the first time that you've just taken this opportunity to really just allow yourself to just be nice and soft, nice and gentle. And as we breathe here, you can gently even just adjust your posture, straighten up your straighten up your spine, and open up your chest. Just kind of like, if you're feeling it, just kind of like bringing in like this breath of just like strength. And not even just the strength of your own, but like the strength of the collective, the strength of the team. So just kind of like breathe in as you inhale, and as you do, your chest just kind of slightly just like rises as you're just kind of like standing on the edge of a cliff, looking out over the horizon at a grand adventure ahead of you. So as we breathe here, nice, soft, gentle inhales, nice big exhale, a bit of a sigh if you need it. Another big inhale, and even just a big exhale, not even a sigh. I'll show you what I mean. So inhale, exhale. However you want to breathe right now, just allowing yourself to be here. And as we just bring in this strength, bring in this joy, bring in this excitement, allow ourselves to just bring this gratitude for ourselves, for arriving, taking the time to be able to understand the value of surrounding ourselves with people that are here to uplift others and help change the world. Gratitude for all the other fellow creators. Gratitude for the bigger story that we are creating here together. Just take a moment here to just kind of collectively envision it. What is it that we are creating? That's the question we are living. What are we creating right now? Let's imagine we are creating a world where more people are awakening to their sovereignty, awakening to joy, awakening to seeing that there is more to this story than perhaps what they've been led to believe, and helping them understand their role within it. Anything else you just kind of want to add? What is the story right now? Ask yourself that question in your heart. I'll stop talking. Just listen. Ask yourself that question. What is the story right now as like this collective of conscious creators? What are we doing? Go ahead and ask yourself that question. Just gentle, soft inhales and exhales. Yes, absolutely. We are reminding people that they are not alone. And that is so, so, so powerful. So as you just breathe here, you can all just imagine us just kind of like standing together side by side as we look out over this beautiful horizon of a new dawn. And we just kind of see this as a symbol for the mission and the journey and the story we are embarking on this year. What is a new year, if not another opportunity to help make a difference in this world? So let's make a big difference simply by being nothing less than our authentic self. So I see you, I honor you, I salute you, fellow conscious creators, light guardians and shifters. And we'll just kind of imagine in the back of your mind some like epic kind of like music, some orchestral score just kind of arising as if it's like a scene from a trailer in a movie and you're the star. So just gently holding this image in our vibration in our heart, and we'll carry it with us throughout this conversation here tonight. And gently from here, with gratitude in our heart, slowly focusing on our breath, we'll gently bring our awareness back to our physical body. And when you are ready, slowly you can begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and gently open your eyes and return your awareness to the space around you. Oh, awesome. If anybody wants to share just in the Zoom chat and the YouTube chat, in terms of when we ask you that question, like, what is the story? If you guys want to share a little bit about that and even share it in your replies, that's totally fine. And how's everybody feeling right now? Inviting you to just be able to share that in the chat as well. So with that said, we'll start passing the talking stick around, and let's hear from some of the other creators and get some updates. And I know some people have to head out by the hour, so we'll be mindful of that. Again, I'm excited to be able to talk to you guys more about just like what I'm up to and what my involvement with Ibble is, and what that kind of like looks like for the community and what I'm envisioning for you. I'll get to that a little bit later. Again, if you're eager for that, download Ibble right now, even as we're on the broadcast, and follow me at Mystic Spider-Man. And yeah, let's start passing the talking stick around. Hadn't really checked in with the order right now. I wanted to go to see, I'm just going to kind of like volunteer. Kyron, would it be okay if I were to like pass it to you first and you give us a quick update on how everything is? Okay, cool. Pass over to Kyron. Then who wants to go after Kyron? Just give me a thumbs up. We'll pass it over to Parker. And then from there, we can just kind of go with the order. And again, we'll just be mindful of time. If anybody has to leave early, we'll go, we'll make sure that we get you in. Thank you again to everyone who tuned into this broadcast. If you guys want to screenshot this, share with your friends, send the direct link, invite more people to tune in. Always appreciated. And yeah, let's get things rolling here. So Kyron, with that said, welcome. And again, just kind of reflecting on the circle, what have you been up to in terms of like your role as a conscious media creator? How have you been shifting the paradigms? And what are you envisioning? This is kind of the key question. What are you envisioning like the next like coming weeks and months for you as a creator, plus any challenges or collaboration stuff that you want to share? So Kyron, welcome, and happy to have you here, and happy New Year, brother. Go right ahead.
Hey brother, how are you guys going? I hope everyone's going really well. So, I mean, I just finished a very massive series of activations over the past couple of months, and my whole paradigm has completely shifted in terms of like asking the question as to why I'm doing what I'm doing, and knowing as to where I'm going to what I'm doing as well. Like, we all talk about like, being media creators and conscious creators and being understanding and expanding consciousness. I really want to understand where is the end game and why into what we are doing right now. Is it to help feed children in third world countries? Is it to help, build communities? Is it to help really impact change and really start navigating that changes that we want to see in society? Because it's coming to the point where now it's like this whole mission that we're doing is beyond just us creating something online. It's coming to the point of like, okay, cool. We have to co-create and co-collaborate to be able to create what we want. But at the same time, there's a lot of people out there who do not understand what we talk about or the things that we talk about. And how is that impact going to make, like, how are we going to make that shift for everyone else? Because we are obviously New Earth leaders, and I believe that every single one of you guys are like superheroes. But if we are going to go into this matrix and hack it, what does it look like, and how are we going to make that change? And I think more and more I'm starting to realize that it's just beyond creating now. It's more actually doing the groundwork, supporting the ground crew, like, going in and getting your hands dirty, like trying to see that if this is, as much as we want to put stuff online, like what is actually authentically towards you, and I think for me, a lot of the things that's coming in is like, trying to do more events online, but at the same time, having events where you can actually communicate with people to build community. I think that's the most important thing, because every single one of you guys are like in different parts of the world. And, imagine having a really cool conscious community that you have built around it, that you can actually network, that we can actually go, look, we need food, we need to be able to, help co-create with each other, or help circulate money. Because this is the thing, it's also coming down to, where's our money going? are we actually circulating it within the community of consciousness, or are we expanding it out to corporations and things that we don't really want money going towards? So a lot of these questions are coming up in my realm right now, because I'm really want to be very, very conscious with the way that I move into this navigation of 2022. It's also like, where am I uploading and putting my my content? It's coming down to that point of questioning that as well, because it's like, some we know this, what's happening right now. We know that it's all being blocked and cut and all of that. Do we really want to spend our time and effort, and all our hard-earned energy, because we have very finite energy, and we're putting that into platforms which are not really technically serving us? Maybe there's potentially that we can actually start really working into putting it into platforms that we can actually rely on, that have the same value systems as that we want, trying to transition people over into that self. So I think that's where my head is at for 2022 at this stage, because I think we as conscious creators, we also need to start going into the matrix and going, look, we have multiple platforms, multiple channels. At the same time, which one are we investing in? How are we going to invest it? How are we going to be bringing and drawing people? How are we creating the community? And how are we empowering everyone around us to be able to create the way that we create? And at the same time, also understanding that, be conscious about circulating, wealth, being conscious about circulating the information. How are we stopping all of that part of it? So there's a lot of things that's actually coming in my mind in this year. So I hope that I get to hang out with you guys more and start navigating through it this year bit by bit, because there's a lot of projects that I'm involved in at the moment, especially with blockchain and cryptos. And, it's all about empowering and making creators and conscious creators particularly to be sovereign. So this is what we want. We want everyone to be sovereign in their own dynasty, at the same time being able to co-create on the same foundational message that we all want to create, which is pretty much love, unity, peace, harmony, really, really setting that foundation really, really strong, so that when we are creating something, we're not creating it on that old paradigm of things. We are creating it from the new paradigm of things, where it's actually solid. When we create everything on top of it, we are stacking the blocks onto a very solid ground. So we know that the foundations are right. So it doesn't collapse, because the whole problem that why we're collapsing, the whole world right now is going through this shift, is because the foundation, it's like you have the old foundation, you have the new foundation. People are building stuff onto the old foundation with the new foundation, and new foundation is like exponentially growing. The old foundation can't even hold it. It's like built with sticks and mortar, and it's like trying to crumble. And then this one is shaking. So we are building it onto the platforms, which are all like crumbling. And it's like, it's giving people, people are not too sure where they want to go, how they want to go. So I think really, really solidly asking the questions in each and every individual of you guys as well, to know where's the solid foundation that we're going to create on. So hopefully that kind of resonates with you guys as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Kyron. And yeah, absolutely. Again, a lot of points there that I'm sure a lot of us are thinking about in the back of our mind. And again, it with some of the stuff you're talking about there, you were talking about creating events, and this is stuff I'll just want to hit upon real quick, because again, this goes for like all of us here. If there's any events that like you're thinking about creating, like I would definitely encourage that. And Kyron, even if there's stuff where like if it's easier for you, feel free to let me know if it's something that you might want to even just like collaborate on, because again, like with any of the events here, and who knows, like it could be multiple of people within even just this discussion here collaborating, because a big part of like when we're creating those circle spaces, those meetings, be it in physical location or in the digital, like that is when we create our own platform. Like Zoom isn't really a platform. Zoom is just a tool. Zoom is a space. So using Zoom as a way to be able to say, like, as soon as we get people in that Zoom room, it's free reign. We can do whatever we want. We create our own rules. We create our own like intention. We create our own containers. So that's where, like, for me, like I find the most like liberty, the most like kind of like ability for us to like really create those meaningful connections and intentions in these Zoom rooms. And then again, like outside of that, like absolutely, like I'm sure maybe other people are feeling it, where it's just kind of like make sure that like when it comes to social media platforms, check in with yourself. Like, are you having fun with them? And that's an important question, because like, you know, like when I started on TikTok, I was having fun with it, and I still do have fun with it. But there are times where it's just like, I have to ask myself, I'm like, am I having fun with this? Like, how can I change it? And that's where, again, you know, just like planting the mention of what I was talking about with Ibble, and again, just kind of like letting you guys know more about what it is about. It is about kind of like this like non-censorship platform. So Ibble is actually like basically a platform created by like conscious individuals, and it is very kind of like not, it's like it's supposed to be the antithesis of TikTok and Instagram, where it is more about being able to create space for people to be able to have that freedom to be able to like communicate things without necessarily being censored quite in the same way. So I wish you would be able to get on Ibble, Kyron. Hopefully it's available in Australia in the future. But again, outside of Ibble and lots of other platforms that also have kind of like similar ideologies and stuff like that, creating those Zoom rooms is totally a thing that I think, you know, always has a very strong potential for being able to like really create the community that you want to create. And with someone such as yourself, like I know there's a lot of people around you already. Like you were mentioning, and I just want to hit on this real quick and then we'll pass it over to Parker. Like, have you hosted a Zoom room before? And again, this is just like me like learning a little bit more about where everyone's at as well. Have you hosted Zoom room meetings before per se?
Yeah. So like I guess like a lot of my stuff is because I teach a lot of like trans channeling and different kind of like, so like I think it's more like, you know, classes as opposed to like Zoom rooms.
But online or in person?
Yeah, online. Yeah,
they are online. Yeah.
But it's just never been like to that like more of community setting like this. Like, you know, this makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But it's more like classes. You know, you come in for a course. You know, you get a whole bunch of people coming in, and
that's cool though.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Yeah, a lot of my stuff is mainly specific, like, because I'm teaching people like alchemization, like, you know, magic, witchcraft, that kind of stuff. So if I'm going into that stuff, you know, you can go for like a 2-week container, and it's like 3 days a week, and we go in for like a couple of hours, and we learn and practice and do kind of cool stuff.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
And that stuff, like, just so people know, like that stuff they can connect through on your Instagram would be a good place, right?
Yes. So everything is all on my Instagram. Yeah, it's on just Kyron.
Cool. Yep. All right. Well, I'll just plug that into the chat and just remind people again. Again, I kind of want to be able to like go around, and it doesn't have to be right away, because I just want to be able to move on to other people, where it's just kind of like envisioning like where we see things at, even just like in a month from now, and just like short answer from you. Is it kind of like a continuation of more of these like online events? Do you think that's a core focus for you right now, where your heart's pulling you?
At the moment, like I'm kind of creating like a bit of a series, like it's a quantum superposition series, and it's about like, you know, it's a
YouTube series.
I'm kind of thinking, I've been approached by a few different like you know, channels. So like there's these guys called Conscious Vitality. I'm not sure if you guys know about them, but they're really, really cool. So they've created so I've connected with the owner of it, and the guy's keen on hosting some of these series on, and they have this blockchain coin called Zadkiel. And if you guys do not know what Zadkiel is, Archangel Zadkiel is the archangel for freedom, and he fights against for truth. So they're creating this blockchain coin where, you know, creators get paid via this coin, and it's quite interesting because, like, you know, it's similar to like Gaia, but the thing is you get to go on live and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of cool little things happening in the sphere, and I would love to just invite everyone to connect with me and see how we can co-create with different things, and see how we can actually move into like sovereignty at the same time being impactful with our way that we are like moving in life, you know, because I think it's getting to this point where I think this year is going to be a pivotal year, especially on the online space. It's almost going to be like, from my channel and my guides of telling me, it's like it's going to be a fight between light and dark, and it's going to be on the online space. It's going to be crazy because it's going to be a lot of stuff that's happening, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of people rising as well. So it's going to be an exciting time to be a conscious creator this year. And I think next year is going to be like it's more of an expansion, but I think this year is going to be a bit of a battlefield, a battleground.
Well, dude, I was just, just hitting upon this real quick, and I appreciate you mentioning this, because this was like not fully on my radar, and that's exactly why we do this. Consciousvitality.com. I would encourage everybody here to just check it out, because like even just like pulling it up, I can see exactly what it is, and I do recognize like some of the faces. Like I recognize like Laura Eisenhower, like she was on our podcast back in the day. I recognize like Brendon Bozars. I've like connected with him and everything like that. Like there's quite a few people here, so just going down.
I was speaking to the owner this morning, and
Cool.
he said that he would love to meet all of whoever's part of this crew, and
Oh,
see
awesome,
how
dude.
we co-create everything. So
Yeah, and so this would be kind of like pre-produced videos, eh? Like kind of like longer length pre-produced, but then also some live events. Is it,
they have
or is it
live
mostly
events
live
on
events?
there. Yeah, they have live events on there,
Yeah.
and all of that kind of stuff. So it's
Okay,
technically,
cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
All right, let's definitely talk more about it because I know this is something that we can just kind of like again spend more time just kind of like brainstorming about. But yeah, like I feel that too. Like I like the idea of like having that like collective network where there are these featured events and again content and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
cool, awesome, Kyron. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. So again, Conscious Vitality, encouraging everybody to check it out. And if any of the creators here, if you guys feel that's something that you're called to, then yeah, let's keep talking a little bit about it beyond this meeting as well. So Kyron, anything else before we pass it around?
Love you guys, and thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you as well, dude. Again, for those of you who are just listening into this on the Instagram, on the Blog Talk Radio or whatever, Kyron Kairos on Instagram. And again, the link for that's in the information on YouTube, and we'll post it into the chat as well. So Kyron, thank you again. Let's keep things rolling along here. We do got a couple other people who are just joining in. Does anybody else have to head out early? Because I know like Cassius, you were saying you have to like head out like at the top of the hour. Again, give or take. I just want to be able to make sure that we're just making a balancing thing here time wise. Cassius, when do you have to head out? Like at 9, give or take?
Yeah, like 9:15.
Okay, 9:15. Okay, Parker, we'll go to you, and then we'll go to Cassius after that, if that's okay. If that makes sense. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Perfect.
All right, okay, Parker, we'll pass it over to you, Parker from Focus Shift Media. And Parker, can you just do us a favor and adjust your camera just a little bit, and then again, just kind of any updates just on things that you're working on, and maybe some visioning of where you see yourself in a couple weeks, and yeah, any other challenges or collaborations that you want to just bring to the table as well. And welcome, Parker. Happy to have you here.
Hello. So I have a few things that I'm currently working on. I have the first thing that I'm hoping to get up by this Saturday is a video about how to focus. It's like in the digital age, there's many benefits to the age that we live in and the access to information. But one of the disadvantages is that there's so much information that it can be a little bit overwhelming. And if we feel anxious, it can be good, like Brendon said about, am I having fun on this platform? Being very conscious about your relationship to technology. And so this video is based on a few books. It's some of the work of Cal Newport, as well as the Productivity Project, as well as some of my own 2 cents and snarky remarks. So that'll be for this Saturday. And another thing that I've been working on is I've been actually going through a lot of, it's like more of a musical thing. So I've been going through a lot of like jazz music theory. So I have a video about that, which I want to keep a little bit like to the imagination, but it's definitely something to stay tuned for, because there's a lot, like if you're into music and you want to expand some of your musical vocabulary to explore new things, that'll be really cool. I mean, no matter what genre you're into, to explore new theory. And I've also been getting a lot of sort of like art books to draw inspiration upon, because something that I've wanted to do forever. I remember when I started to get really heavily into focus shift, like the whole reason why I dropped out of college was to get into the animation aspect of things. But and I've released some things, and like sometimes it's in there, but this year I definitely want to get more into the 3D animation aspect. But yeah, I mean, a little bit before New Year, I planned a lot of the topics, and I definitely want to get into some of the longer form like documentaries and some of the usual commentaries and things, but definitely some like things that require like a lot of heavy reading and research.
Awesome. Parker, thank you so much for sharing. And again, Parker has a lot of really, really cool videos on their YouTube channel as well. A lot of them are just getting into like the social kind of anthropology anthropology, is that the word? Anyways, like the study of like humans and people as well. And there's just a couple of the YouTube video titles there that you guys can check out. One being are you socially engineered, and then another one about is there an afterlife. There's a really kind of popular one that I remember, that was like it was like the Terrence McKenna one about machine elves, and some really cool ones by Alan Watts. Parker does an excellent job of editing videos, and again, I think it's cool just kind of like have an idea of what it is that you're moving towards as well. So Parker, thank you for sharing. Is there anything else you wanted to update us on at the moment, or?
I would just say thank you to everybody who's in the process of creating, and to, even though at times there are some challenges that come along with the creative process, to stay resilient and stay focused, pun intended.
There we go. Stay focused. Awesome. Focus Shift Media on YouTube. Go ahead and check that out, guys. And Parker, thank you again for joining today's circle. Appreciate it. Cool. One thing I'll just I'll put this in, and then Cassius, you can even include this in, because I do want us to be able to reflect, and this is for everyone, those of you in the YouTube chat as well. One thing I want you guys to just kind of like ask yourself is like, what is one thing you're doing for yourself? Like outside of your work, and yes, your work is for you and everything like that, but what's one thing outside of your content and stuff like that you're doing for yourself? Quick answer for myself today, and it's like a really big thing, like taking time to go out and go ice skating. Like fortunately, we still got like an ice rink in my city and everything like that. That for me, it feeds my soul. So I just want all of you to just be able to keep that in the back of your mind, and again, just kind of like say that to yourself, where it's just like, oh yeah, like making sure I'm taking those things for myself, like to give to myself that are going to nurture my soul. So we'll kind of just like reiterate that even as we go around the circle, because again, like as a conscious creator, it's a holistic story that we're creating within our habits. It's not just like what we do when we're like clicking buttons at the computer and our phone and stuff. So let's keep things passing around. And Cassius, we'll pass it over to you. And a lot of you guys will recognize Cassius from previous circles. And again, Cassius, go ahead and just give us an overview on what you're up to, what things you're focusing on, where you see yourself in maybe the next month, and any challenges or collaborations that you want to be able to share. So Cassius, when you're ready, go right ahead, dude. Welcome.
What's up, guys? So you guys already know I'm Cassius. By the way, I just want to say all you guys are so beautiful. I was looking at everybody, I was like, what? But anyways, let me start. So I want to say that mainly I'm into, astral projection, ETs, and all of that. So I've been really into all of that. And for many years, I've been, researching, and now I've started creating content. And it's crazy to see how many people are actually awakened to this and actually into it. That's what baffles me the most. Recently, I've been in like a transitional phase. So usually I'm making content, and that's one thing, like Parker said, is having fun. So I've learned a lot on how to have fun and like make videos that my heart tells me to make, because it's like, I take it as the universe telling me what to make, because then I notice like certain people needed it. So I take it as like the universe telling me what to make, and then that's what I got to make, right? And so lately I've been in like a transitional phase of finding more about myself and learning more about the universe. And it's low-key like a dark night of the soul. It's like I've discovered so much that I have to learn more. And when I come out of little things like this, I gain so much more wisdom. So I have been working on merch and trying to make more YouTube videos and things like that. So I have been kind of finding my flow, which was a struggle I had months ago, was trying to find out my flow and how I want to make videos. But lately I have been just focusing on learning a lot. And especially if I learn something new, like if it's a big topic, like lately I've been into the afterlife and really learning about what happens when you die, and looking into movies and things like that. So I've really been into that lately. And it's been crazy how much my whole reality, like my whole being, is changing because of everything I learned. So I kind of embrace all the emotions and all of the challenges I've been in lately. And I still go live, and usually by people that follow me, we talk about this stuff all the time. And we are just all together in this, like whatever I learn, they learn. And that's the fun part for me, is communicating with people and helping souls like discover themselves more. It's like, yeah, I'm discovering myself, but also you guys. So that's my favorite part. In a month, I see, I feel like in a month, I see a lot more flow, like a lot more knowledge and wisdom to gain from everything I'm learning now, especially like I said, when I'm in little like dark nights like this, I come out and then I like discover something new about myself. So I see a lot of that. Like in a month, I feel I'm gonna be more bright. It feel a lot more like a new level. And yeah, that's it about me, really. So excited to be.
Yeah, Cassius, happy to have you here, man. And it's, again, for those of you who aren't already following Cassius on TikTok, dude, like congratulations on just like the ongoing success with your TikTok, and like you're reaching like it's only, I would say you're probably going to reach 1 million within the next couple months, which is pretty exciting, dude. Yeah, like I'm just kind of curious, and this is again just kind of like a prompt for any of us to just be able to reflect on. For someone who is like almost at 1 million subscribers on TikTok, like what is like a vision of success in your mind? Like even just kind of like imagining where you want to see yourself maybe in like the next like month or something like that. Like what does success look like? What does it feel like for you? Because you're kind of past the point where it's like numbers and stuff now, so it's like you're into a whole nother territory. I'm curious what that brings up when you reflect on that.
And Ferry was talking about ear ringing. Yes, ma'am. I've been feeling that. But anyways, so right now I'm about like 800,000, and it baffled me. Sometimes I look at it, I'm like, whoa, that's me, bruh. But like, I don't look at it in terms of like, to me, it's nothing about vanity. Or even when I started getting followers, it was just all about helping people see, and all my wisdom I wanted others to gain, and hopefully that helped them rise. So every time I see someone follow me, I like mentally thank them. I'm like, thank you. And then I always wonder about their life and what it's like for them, especially looking at me. And I noticed that I've seen a lot of people come to me and say, you're my role model, you inspire me. And that brings joy to my heart. And I love it. Like, I love just having so much people to help and be around, and they help me as well. So it feels very like empowering, but also like I have a duty, like I have a job, and that makes me even more happy because all my life I've always wanted to just bring light to people's lives. So it's like low key, it's like I always knew I was gonna get something like this, but it's never in terms of vanity. It's always like okay, I'm doing my mission. So when I got to where I was now, I was like, okay, now I could do what I'm here to do. And I feel it in my heart that this is what I'm meant to do. So no matter what the number is, honestly, it's just a number to me, really. And that may sound corny, but like, it's really just a number. I feel like the people is what I'm truly in it for. That is success to me.
Awesome, dude. Beautiful answer. And again, I'm sure it's one that a lot of us can definitely like, again, relate to and respect as well. Because again, with like, as we kind of like move into this, I do think that like the numbers in themselves, like I would say, yes, they don't matter, but they absolutely do matter in terms of just being able to like, and again, I'm just taking this opportunity to be able to like, not only praise you, but each of us, because like every single follow is a person, every single person is a seed planted, every single seed planted is a life changed, is a paradigm shifted. And so, again, it's really cool because like, when we kind of get those moments, it's cool. Like I want to say for each of us, like, it's okay for us to feel excited and to feel pride in what we do as like, as we get that feedback as an indicator, even if it's not even, again, like a super viral video, but even when it's just like a few people replying and say like, hey, like what you said really resonated with me, where like, that's basically, whether it's one person, whether it's 1 million person, like that is like us taking those steps along the path where the universe is saying like, yes, you're doing the right thing, keep going. And so, yeah, Cassius, it's exciting to be able to just kind of like see how much your videos are resonating. And yeah, again, congratulations on like the YouTube videos. I know you've been getting into more of kind of like the interview style, kind of like podcasty format style. So that's really cool there as well, dude. Is there any like challenges at the moment that you want to be able to share with the circle? And I know you got to jump off in the next little bit, but anything we can help you with or get some feedback on that you might be thinking about? Guidance and wisdom?
The only challenge I've been going through lately is just like, it's mostly internally. And so it's more of just what's the, I want to say more negative thinking and keeping my vibe high. So I've been learning a lot on keeping my vibration high and not letting like my own negative thinking get to me. That's the only thing I've been like struggling with lately. But yeah, I notice that's, it's like I can handle the bullies outside, but the bullies within me is the one that's like, that's my challenge. And but it's also excites me because the challenge is what really empowers you. So I'm definitely excited. Like I see the challenge, I'm like, yes, but I'm also like, all right, man, like let's calm down. Like it can be a lot. But yeah, if there's anything you guys want to tell me about that, I'd love to hear it.
I'll just reply real quick. Sorry, I was going to reply. Candice, welcome. I'll just reply real quick, and then I did just want to be able to open up the circle for anybody else to reply. Where like Cassius, like with that, have you made a video about that? Like I'm curious if you've like specifically kind of explicitly like talked about that as a theme within your video, like yes or no, kind of.
No, I'm kind of
okay,
on, but yeah, no.
That, well, that takes me to my next point, where I would say like, when you feel in it almost like not, it doesn't have to be an excited place, but in like an enthusiastic place, I think that would be a great discussion for a video topic. And honestly, like I think you being that real would help you move that energy and help you transmute it. And I think suddenly a lot of people would be like, whoa, like I actually like see him a little bit more for who he is. Because again, you know, I think especially for people who see you as a role model, one of the most inspiring things for us to see is when our role models reveal their humanness to us, and suddenly they're not this thing on a pedestal, and suddenly they're just like an actual human who does have their challenges, especially like anything to do with like mental health, dude. Like I would even say, you know, like that could be something that you could propose into a discussion into the community, where you can say like, hey guys, this is not something that I'm saying I have the answers for, but it is something that I'm experiencing. This is what I want to be able to move towards. Does anybody have any feedback on this? Does anybody have their own experience? Let's talk about this and let's help each other in the comments down below. So a lot of times, like as creators, from my own experience, what I've found is that like when I'm going through periods where I may be going through like low periods and sad periods, what I'll actually do, I'll take the time to process that emotion within my own space. But then when I feel called, I'll actually find that if I bring that experience that I went through and maybe the lessons associated with it into my content, that a lot of people will be like, holy cow, like I needed to hear this at this time, or this is really relatable. And suddenly I realized I wasn't the only one. Like I think the hardest thing for us as individuals is that we're going through these challenges and we don't realize that like every single one of us is also going through it, because we don't usually talk about it in some way or another. But yeah, Cassius, does that resonate with you? And again, I just wanted to let anybody else jump in on that general concept as well.
I never thought to talk about it too much. I did talk about 1, 2 there, but because it's been like up, down, sometimes I'm like really good. And then other times, like, it's like, I, you know, it's going like this, and like, I learned something new each time. So every low point's like learning something. So definitely I'm gonna take that, because I feel like, of course, a lot of other people out there are going through the same thing. So yeah, I'm gonna take that.
Cool, man. Yeah. Cause I think again, as creators who want to kind of like be that bridge between higher conscious ideas and just kind of like mainstream solid, you know, like this plane. So a lot of your content is kind of like this very like high astral OBE, you know, like a lot of like alien kind of content. And so it's like, maybe that's a part of the evolution, is like you can kind of like bring in more of the kind of like overview of just a little bit more of like the earth root chakra, mental fit, like the merging of the mental and the physical plane, so to speak. But again, man, like I would just say like, just, you know, me planting that as an idea is just like something to invite you to just kind of not rush into, but just kind of like feel into and just be like, oh, like I have permission to do that. And I would be doing it because I think it would actually help me and other people as well. So yeah, and that's coming from my own experience as well. So but yeah. Anybody else just want to jump in on that? Candice, I know I didn't mean to cut you off earlier, but welcome, Candice.
That's okay. I just wanted to say, Cassie, when I watch you, I really like what you share. And for myself, I just have started putting out my content. Like I've only done about 2 videos, but I I guess I've started putting out a video of what is in what I would like to put in my world, and I just put it out there and share. And I think my focus is to bring joy into people's perspective, because I mean, I want to develop a new world of freedom that people can bring their creativity. So that's my purpose of putting my content out. I just like to have fun and share what lights me up, and like that's what brings me joy. So
I commented, I
that's
posted
what I wanted to share.
Say that again, Cassius.
Yeah.
1 second,
I was
Candice.
saying-
Cassius, go ahead.
Candice, I saw you commented on one of my posts, and I was like,
Aw.
"That's my girl. That's my girl."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
great to see you posting though.
Yeah. I have to leave at 9:25, but
Okay.
yeah, sorry, I'm late. Yeah, I did comment because it was cool. I
So
loved
much.
it.
That's
Yeah,
very sweet.
thanks.
Awesome. Candice, thank you again. Cassius, I know you have to head out in a little bit. Anything you want to reply, or anybody else want to jump in? Then I would want to just be able to go over some of the Ibble stuff real quick before Cassius jumps out, while we got everybody here. But anybody else who just wanted to reply on, relatable stuff? Hannah, go ahead. Jump right in.
Hana.
Hana, it's been a while.
I know.
Sorry,
it's been
Hana.
a while. No worries. It happens all the time.
Go for
No,
it.
people who know me, I've referred to myself as Hannah before. I shocked myself that day.
Good to see you.
Hi, I'm also a content creator, and I was like so resonating with what you were saying. And then when you mentioned aliens, I go, oh, that's why I'm resonating with everything, because I also love aliens. And I just started posting about my experiences. And so I also feel like people expect me, like I'm very like lucid was what I was gonna say. I'm very I'm a Gemini. Did you say you're a Gemini?
No, I'm a Virgo.
Okay. Oh, that's funny. But I like post whatever I like to, and I often find that it's not easy to post about the hard times because it doesn't seem as inspiring when you're going through it. And I often post really happy content, but what I've found is that when I have the negative thoughts come up, I personally will try to let them come up, address like where they might be rooted from, and then try to bring in a positive counter thought that is true. Maybe not also true, but it is true, that can kind of bring me to that vibe while also not like diminishing what I'm thinking. And what I've been able to integrate into my content is like, at least I know on Christmas Eve, I had like the biggest breakdown of the whole year where I was like crying for 3 hours. And then I had this affirmation that was like, I'm safe. I'm here for myself. I will always be here for myself, I think was what it was. And I got the camera out, even though it was uncomfortable. And I was like rocking on my bed saying it, but I like shared it with the people, which is like one of the first times I'd ever shared like a really vulnerable moment like that, where I wasn't like talking about it, but I was really experiencing it. But I find that being able to like Brendon, sorry, throat chakra, like Brendon was saying, when you can share about those things and kind of relate it to both like an earthly level and that elevated perspective of like also feeling through those like dense emotions, and you feel so light after. Like I've been feeling so good ever since Christmas Eve, which we'll talk about later, but
like it's been really like I'll be up like sometimes I'll be super happy and like very like love being very happy and just like spreading that love. But then there's also like those really low times where you're like, all right, man. And you're just like really stressed. But then it's like when you come out of that and you feel so much lighter, like you said. That's interesting you say that.
It's a common experience. And I think the thing that a lot of people experience that they're wanting to break through is like, how do I stop being sad? And the thing is, I think so many people run from it, and they don't realize that people who are posting this motivational, happy, inspiring, up content also have those like low moments where they feel through and they get angry or they get sad and they cry and they scream and whatever. But I honor you and your experience.
You made me think about that, because it's like, maybe I need to, because I think I've also been like, all right, I am always so high vibrational. I need to keep that, but I also need to give myself time to be like, all right, you need to be here. I think my only fear was like attracting something low while I'm down here. So then I'm like, oh shoot, let me bring that up. So I guess it's been like a fight like that. But no, you right. I need to like allow myself to feel it some more. That makes so much sense.
I appreciate your perspective, and I also appreciate that we can have that collective shared experience of like being able to feel through the darkness and then feel the equal but opposite, sometimes even feels like even more so light on the other side.
Very cool. Yeah, thank you, Hana. Go ahead, Cassius, if there's
thank you so much for your wisdom. I needed that. And yeah, I'm just so glad that you guys have so much to give me, and you know, all of us share everything together. Like, this is what we're here for, is all of that. It's just to come together and have that. It's like someone has something that someone else needs, and then you come together. That's my favorite part. That is what I love about humanity the most.
That's how we learn. That's how we grow. So yeah, man, it's awesome. And again, I think just for anybody there, like, yeah, like as creators, you know, over time, as we evolve as creators, we do realize that like our role as a creator, it's not like we're like a growing human being and then we create content. It's like we are creating content that is creating us into a growing human being. And then it kind of like becomes like this very like interesting synergistic experience. So when we continue to evolve as creators, again, we begin to understand that, you know, like what people look for in leadership is, again, also that vulnerability. So like that's where like when it's appropriate, it's just like, man, like people like that strength and that vulnerability, those moments when you can post from a genuine place where it's maybe not your best day, but you're still talking a little bit about it when you feel called to share, like people remember that. People really remember that, and that can go a longer way. And it can be very beneficial for you to be able to share that. Some of my, like I've cried on video, like on YouTube's and TikToks of like, I don't know, like probably close to a dozen times over the years that I've done this and stuff like that. And it was like cathartic for me too. So yeah, super powerful. But yeah, Cassius, was there anything else? Because I just want to be able to go over a couple of things of the Ibble stuff before you're jumping out. Was there anything else you want to share at the moment?
Oh no, go ahead.
Just okay, cool. Listen. Cool. All right, so for everybody here, again, I just know a couple people are heading out real quick, and what I wanted to be able to do, I just wanted to be able to reiterate a little bit more information about the Ibble app. So you guys have heard me talk a bit about this at the beginning. If you guys joined a little bit late, I'll just give a quick summary, and you're going to hear me talking about it a little bit more like ongoing. So essentially, long story short, like Ibble is a new app, and this is something that I want you guys to be able to get excited about, just kind of in the same way that, remember what it felt like when you discovered TikTok for the first time and you started exploring it? And I remember this feeling where I was like, whoa, like this is actually like a new game to play. Like this is like a new thing that I get to be able to like have fun with as a creator. And so what makes Ibble a little bit different from the previous platforms is that its tagline is lively, insightful, empathetic conversations happening now. So the platform of the app is designed in this way that is unique from TikTok and Instagram, where essentially the format is creators can create a short, like 60-second video, and then other creators reply with their own videos that can be up to 60 seconds. And then it creates like a sequence, almost like kind of like you're editing together a video where someone submits a video, someone submits a video, someone submits a video, and then you go back and you can listen to it as one sequence. So say if someone puts a video that has a specific question where it could be something like, you know, like, what are your favorite conscious themes? And then someone creates a video like replying to that, and then replying to that, and replying to that. And there's so many like infinite and endless questions. That's where I'll tell you guys a little bit more about a couple of my ideas. And so where things are at right now, like this is, again, an app that's been around for about 3.5 years. and it's got a really cool team. It's got a team of about like 30 people that have like been engineering it, and a lot of like conscious intention that's gone into it. I've recently been introduced to the app, and so I'll be clear with you guys in terms of just being able to like help you understand a little bit more about like why I'm talking to this. I am working alongside them, and so like I'm working with them, where essentially like my role working alongside of them is to be able to, with collaboration efforts, be able to help like bring more conscious creators into the app. And I'm not the only one doing this. Dillon, who's actually with us here today, he actually introduced me to Ibble, and I'll pass it to Dillon in a bit to be able to talk a little bit more about it, because he's been with them for like a year. What makes Ibble pretty unique, and this is why I'm telling you guys this, because like the vision I have here is that it's something where a lot of us can benefit from. What makes Ibble actually unique is that like they're actively like supporting creators. So creators who are involved on their app, who are creating content, creating engagement, bringing their viewers into the app, like they're actually like supporting them. Like they're supporting them through financial contributions, where people can have like individual contracts. I'm not going to get into the details about what that contract is, but I'm letting you guys know that that does exist, because I want to be able to plant that seed to inspire you to be able to say, if this is something where you guys try it out, feel it out, and then put in a little bit of energy, it's totally something where myself and the other creators who are involved with it, we can kind of like connect things for you, and they can reach out to you. And then from there, you might find yourself like getting more involved with it as well, in a way that like would not only be able to create some awesome space and discussion for community, but also to be able to help support you as well, like as an individual creator, entrepreneur, etc. So what I'm looking to actually be able to do within Ibble is to be able to invite more people here within the community, and really to be able to do it from the perspective of what we have as a unique opportunity here within Paradigm Shift. Like this is where, when I was talking to like one of the production team members the other day, and I'll give you guys the Ibble link, I was like explaining to him, I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool, because like I've actually been connecting with a lot of fellow conscious creators. And so my brain starts imagining this idea where, as more of us kind of come to it, we have the ability to use our backend Discord, and even just through notifications in the app, where we can intentionally make a habit of replying to each other's discussions and conversations, and then building a space in there that is facilitating conscious discussions that there isn't currently in the app. So do you guys remember when TikTok kind of started, and like spiritual stuff on TikTok was rare? Like it wasn't the common thing. Like that's kind of like where Ibble's at, where like as conscious creators, we have the chance to be able to get our foot in the door, to lead. And again, not just for the purpose of like financial gain and stuff like that, but for like real world change, where we're creating space to host inspirational discussions, to lead people back to their heart. And again, what's cool with Ibble is that you can kind of think of it as like you're creating like a podcast discussion, but it's happening beyond space and time, where I could create it where I could just be like, hey, everyone, welcome to today's discussion. Here's my question for you. Let's talk a little bit about astral projection. What's your experience with astral projection? Do you have any questions? And then kind of people reply to that. And then you kind of create this sequence. There's a lot of opportunity with Ibble. And honestly, it's something that like, and I'll just hit upon this real quick. And then I just want to be able to, again, kind of get things wrapped up. And I know a couple people got to go. But first of all, it's it's only available in the US, not in Australia, not in UK, and some of Canada. So if you're in Canada, I would check it out. And again, I'll just post it into the Zoom chat and the YouTube chat. My username on there is Mystic Spider-Man. So if you guys want to follow me there, I already created one discussion thread, and what I'm gonna actually do, I'm gonna create like a bunch more, so you guys can kind of go through and kind of like reply to them, even like as like ongoing as well. And then I'll kind of be adding individual ones throughout the week, as well as at specific times. I'm going to create a schedule for when I'm adding them. And yeah, again, like the one that I put up there, it's basically like a spiritual seeker meet and greet, where basically like what I'm doing is I'm inviting people to just as practice, and this is me playing with it as well. I created a thread. I said like, hey, these are my rising signs. This is what I'm into as a spiritual seeker. Tell me a bit about yourself. So it's a cool chance for us to just kind of like get familiar with the app. But again, as a creator, if you're just like looking for something where you can put your focus towards it, where it could support you, and you're supporting the community, and you're playing with something that's different from TikTok and different from Instagram, and it's an app that's already been around for a while, so the foundation's already there. So we got that lined up. Definitely consider Ibble. And what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to like get a bunch of us following each other, get a bunch of us engaging with each other's content, inviting more of our creators, and really creating something that will be unique there, and really to be able to like give your audience members a chance to kind of be able to connect with you in a little bit different way. On TikTok and Instagram, they reply in a comment and that's all it is. Here, you can create a video and they can kind of like reply to you in a different way through the video format, and also just through audio format. So if you're interested in Ibble, do me a favor, just drop an 1111 in the chat, because I just want to be able to get some feedback on that. And I would encourage you guys to at least just check it out, play with it. I'll be talking a bit about it more. And again, my focus right now, over like this month and the next month is to imagine what it would look like to be able to create like a really cool conscious community on Ibble. So my role is to be able to help lead in that process, as well as to have fun and play alongside you guys and to be able to host some discussions. And again, just be able to create this process where as the water rises, so does every ship. So the more community we can have on there, the more we all win. For those of us who are feeling called to get involved there as a way to be able to, again, possibly get involved with like more work within the production side of the Ibble community as well. So there's a lot there. And the other things I want to create is discussions. I want to create discussions in ways people aren't creating discussions on there. One of them would be like kind of like an ongoing dream log where like I create a thread where it's like post in this video thread your dream logs when you wake up in the morning to the best of your ability. I'll use it for my own accountability. And then other people can use it and say like, I'm sharing my dream log, 60-second, this is my dream log. And then other people add to it. Imagine this consecutive thread where it's like video, ongoing of people sharing their dream logs. Like that's pretty cool. And then you can literally check it daily. Think of, I'll just say this because this is like the best metaphor I can share. Not the best, but think of Ibble as something that's like slow and steady, but like really deep roots. And I've been playing Animal Crossing a lot lately, and that game has really gotten me into this habit where it's just like you play a little bit each day and it's like ongoing, and then the progress is over the course of like weeks and months. And that's what I'm feeling with Ibble, where, you know, it's planting the seeds, telling you guys about it, inviting you guys about it, because you guys are some of the best creators I know. And I want you guys to be able to like get involved with something that if you feel you resonate with it, you could be like, whoa, this is pretty awesome. And again, that's where some new opportunities could open up for you as well if you want to reach out and get involved with more of like the support from the production team as well as that role. So yeah, there's the dream log that I want to create. There's a kind of like an affirmation chain I want to create. I want to create like freestyle flowetry where I create like some flowetry and then people will reply with flowetry, freestyle song, artistic stuff, creative stuff. I want to create like stories where we're actually creating stories and people can join in with stories, talking about conscious movies and themes and psychedelics. And this is where, again, the platform is very like not censored, hosting discussions on psychedelics, stuff that's a little bit more taboo. I want to be able to get some more feedback just from you guys on what you just kind of like feel, even from me talking about it. Is this something you're interested in? And then from there, we'll go around the circle a little bit more. I don't want to spend too much time on it. The link for Ibble is in the YouTube info. It's in my Instagram link. And again, for those of you who want to be able to check it out, just go ahead and do that and follow me at Mystic Spider-Man. And I hope to see you guys over on Ibble, and I'll be posting more videos there. Yeah, just kind of check in, just quick feedback. And Dillon, if there's some stuff you want to say about Ibble as well, and then we'll kind of like switch gears as well. Alicea, did you want to reply? Does that sound like something that you kind of be excited and into? Go ahead, Alicea. Welcome.
Hi, guys. You just had to say the word Ibble and my eyes like lit up. And I mean, I'm so in line with all of this. I have to tell you guys, this is hilarious. I stopped sending text messages about a month ago, and I only send video messages now. Like that's the way I communicate. And I'm having a hard time going back. And I'm just so on board, like 100%. And I think your ideals that you have so far are amazing. The morning video that you mentioned, it's so funny because I actually took a morning video recently, and I listened back and I sound absolutely delirious. It's hilarious. You know, I'm just like, and there's a man with so many wives, and I had no bed, and the dragons. Anyways, thank you for tonight. Thank you for hosting, and I'm excited about Ibble.
Awesome. Happy to hear that. Thank you. Thank you as well, Alicea, for joining in. Anybody else, just general, like go ahead. Just like I'm looking for feedback. And again, as like the Ibble thing continues, like this is, again, opening up some really cool collaboration stuff. I mean, I love TikTok. I love Instagram, but like, I'm feeling like I want to play a new game, and Ibble is like a new game that we get to be able to kind of like learn and play with as well. And again, I can say to you now, if you're like showing up in a way where it's like, I want to put my energy into this, like this could open up some opportunities for you because they want to support creators. So Nadine, yeah, go ahead.
I think that it's going to be a really positive way for us to put a face behind our words. It's so easy to sit behind a keyboard and type words in and make comments about a video. But if you're actually having to put your face behind what you have to say, it's a whole nother story. So I think it's going to be huge. And I think it's going to be very, very, very positive for humanity in general, but like for people who are on it more.
Awesome. Yeah. And Nadine, I can tell you, they got like a couple people on there that have been doing tarot. Like there's some tarot ones that have like 70 replies on them. So if you were to go on there and like host some tarot stuff, like I guarantee you, like just basically do like mini reads for people. They love that on there. They love that on there. So yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity. And again, that's where like as a team, we have this unique opportunity where like, for those of you who are in our Discord, when you post on Ibble, post in the Discord, and that's the quickest way for us to just kind of like have that back end where we keep things involved, keep things like notified. And then when I see that Nadine posts, I'll go out of my way and reply. And honestly, what I love about Ibble is that, again, you know, a lot of you guys know, like I'm moving into this new stage in my life where like a lot of my time is taking care of Lacey. The baby's going to be coming soon. I'm basically like helping parent her 7-year-old now that he's home from school. For me, something like Ibble where I can kind of like step out of the room, do a reply, and then come back, that works great for me. So I'm like, for me, like when Dillon kind of introduced it to me and I kind of checked it out, I'm like, oh, like this actually feels exciting. This feels like it's something that's in alignment with my energy. And I think I would be a great person to be able to help bring more conscious creators into the community. And it's something that will help the community as well. So yeah, a lot of like more things that we can talk about as we go. Cassius, if you're heading out in a second, any quick thoughts on Ibble, dude? I know, again, a lot of us got a lot on our plates at once, so no rush either way.
Never heard of it, actually. I was focusing on Snapchat, TikTok, and Insta and YouTube, but that actually sounds interesting. I might actually check that out.
Yeah, and what I would recommend, Cassius, because again, like some of the stuff that they're looking for as creators, like they're very interested in creators that have like big followers and stuff, because right now, like a part of their goal is they want to have more people on the app, because not a lot of people, there is a big community, like there's a lot of cool creators already on there, and you'll see, but they don't have like, you know, they want more people. That's obviously how apps grow. But, you know, Cassius, like if you're interested, we can talk more about it, because like what I'm going to do, like I'm going to like still post my regular stuff on Instagram and TikTok, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use Ibble for like exclusive discussions, exclusive questions. So that would be like for myself and for you, be like, hey, like, you know, for all the people who have been watching my videos for over the last 6 months, if you guys want to connect with me in a different way, Ibble's the place where I do it. And Ibble wouldn't necessarily be about like, you know, like having like that million followers and stuff like that. And I'm just using that as an arbitrary statement. But it would be more about the place of being able to like have those meaningful connections. One of my taglines on Ibble, like within my profile, and this is kind of my vision, is like creating conversations to help lead people back to the heart. So that's where I want to like host some like really cool things on Ibble that, again, will just kind of like give people a chance to just kind of like tap in. And that's where like question prompts. So even for those of you like, right, like just hanging out here now, like think of like cool question prompts. I'm actually going to be using questions that we've done in previous paradigm shift circles. A lot of the topics, that's the thing, like what we've been doing in paradigm shift through our discussion topics have already very much been what Ibble is about, but we've been doing it in live stream format with, you know, in-person discussion. But there's some discussions there where I could, you know, have some questions where it's just like, what does intuition mean to you? What does sovereignty mean to you? What makes your heart sing? You know, like, do you like, what does being psychic, like, do you believe in psychic abilities? And some of the prompts that we did in the spiritual support circle would actually be good. Another question I'm going to ask is one where it's like, what do you want more of in your life? What do you want less of in your life? And not all the questions will be straight up explicitly spiritual, but they will be intentional as well. So think about that in the back of your mind, create a profile, play with it, and I'll be playing with it too. It's a game. I'm inviting you guys to play. I'm asking for you guys to help me in this, but I'm also inviting you to be able to play with me in this pretty exciting game. And just like Animal Crossing, over the course of a month, we'll build up our island nice and slow. And if we put in the energy, like I think this will be like a really cool place where it'll just be like, this is a breath of fresh air. It's not TikTok, it's not Instagram, and it's a cool thing where you can kind of like play throughout the day. You check, see a new video, and you kind of have this ongoing conversation that's kind of like happening throughout the day. So it's different. I'm excited about it. I don't know fully what to expect, but I'm excited I can hold a vision of what we can create. So
that's reminding me of one app that I remember when everybody was talking about TikTok's gonna get banned or whatever, like the whole app, and then everybody ran to this app called Byte. And I remember I went there and it was like an off-brand, like a no frills version of TikTok. But it was actually low-key lit, but it died out now. But what is it called again? I'm actually going to check it out after this.
Yeah, so this one's Ibble, so Ibble. And I did post a link. I'll post a link again just in the Zoom chat so you guys can get that. It is in my profile link in my Instagram and TikTok. And they like just recently released it on like in Canada. So like Cassius, if you get on it, like me and you will be like some of the first like Canadian creators on there. I think as well. But that's what I mean, man. Like Cassius, like if you're on there and you're creating stuff, like I'll keep my eyes open and I'll reply to your stuff. And then if we just kind of create this habit where, again, it's just kind of like starting slow, and then we'll start building momentum. But I can say for certain, like Cassius, like they would be very interested in just being able to say like, hey, we want to work with you, and you can talk more about them as you kind of get into that. But again, right now I'm just kind of like, let's build up to things. Like they do have some pretty cool opportunities, and who knows, like it could be like something that will just open up some pretty cool doors for any of us as creators as well. So anybody else got any questions on that? Cassius, you got anything else on that? I know Dillon, I could probably pass it to you if you want to share a little bit about it as well, because Dillon was the one who went out of their way to mention like Ibble to me and say like, hey, like this could be something that you would want to get more involved with. So Cassius, is there anything you want to say, or are you heading out in a minute?
Yeah, I'd love to listen to hear what Dillon has.
Okay. Cool. Dillon, is that cool? Can we pass it over to you? And then again, I know you got a lot of other stuff going on, so yeah, we can also kind of just like touch base on that. But yeah, so Dillon, you've been involved with like Ibble for a year and stuff like that. But yeah, go ahead and just anything I'm missing or general experience and what we can do to just kind of like hype people up and get more people connected. So welcome, Dillon. Happy to have you here.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, yeah, so I was on TikTok for a while, and then I got completely deplatformed. Like my whole account got taken away. And I wasn't even really talking about that much bad stuff. It was just like really deep, different spiritual concepts. And so my account got taken down and I needed a place to go. And so now more of my energy is going towards that platform because I can actually say whatever I want and not get taken down and not have to worry about how off the wall my shit that I'm talking about is. Like I can just say whatever I want. And so now all of my energy is going there. I've been working with them for about a year, and it's really an opportunity for people to like see where the future of social media is going. I think there's only so much longer that we can take in seeing Instagram models and seeing like so much superficial stuff online. And I feel like the future, like the frequency of the planet is only going to be able to handle stuff that's deeper, stuff that is more out there, stuff that isn't just like, very surface level. And that's where the app is going. So any app, anything that's like moving in that direction, I feel like is very, very powerful. So
awesome. And again, with Ibble, like kind of part of the way it works, like for those people who look kind of like, again, as you get involved with it, which I would encourage you to do, just kind of like get involved with it, put some energy into it. And if it's something that's kind of like within your path for them to kind of like reach out to you. But one of the things they do for the people that they're kind of like working with, like the featured creators, it's like this idea of like hosting specific events, like even like weekly and everything like that. And they got a lot of like really cool events and some like pretty cool speakers. Like that's where it's like kind of similar to the Unity Conscious Vitality that we were talking about earlier with Kyron. It's kind of similar to like that. Like it's creating like this collective of like different like speakers and events. And for those who choose to get involved a little bit further, there is the opportunity for you guys to like host events. And Dillon just had like a couple events, and that's kind of like what you're doing now, Dillon. You got like you were doing events for like a month for them, kind of on and off. And again, just any other quick experience on that?
Yeah, I was doing events with them. I was like, my first event, I decided to go pretty out there. I was talking about like how I got taken down and like censorship and free thinking and just how a lot of social media is taking down creators for saying something if it doesn't go with a certain narrative or agenda. And it ended up doing pretty well. The event did pretty well. And that's, I think, that's like the beautiful thing where you can have people, whenever you do say something in a thread, somebody can be like, oh, well, I disagree with that, or, oh, well, I got you on that. And then they can put in their own opinion. And so that's really more powerful. And there's not any other social media that's doing it the way they are in that kind of structure.
That's awesome, dude. So is there anything else? We'll just kind of wrap up on the Ibble. Is there anything else people want to know about Ibble before we switch gears?
No, I just say like download the app now and just like start playing with it. Like it's going to be kind of hard because it's not really, it's kind of similar to TikTok, but when you get on it, it may be kind of overwhelming. So just like download the app, make a profile, start playing with it a little bit, put some content that you may not have on other social media platforms, and just have fun.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, again, kind of like a new video game. I'm still like learning a little bit of the mainframe and interface, and it's a little bit different. Like, people post videos and then you can like post replies, or you can spark a video, which like takes your reply and creates it as a separate thread. It's a little bit different. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you kind of get the hang of it, you get the hang of it. And it's still like growing in development. There's still like one of the things that, as they told me this, it's just that they're like, give us feedback if there's things that you want to be able to see in the app. So like, whereas with TikTok and Instagram, like the development teams like out of reach, like here, like they're literally within reach of direct message. And again, they've been doing this for quite a while. So it's cool to see like how much Ibble has grown. And also, again, to see that like there's like this nice ripe space where it's just like, man, like think of the conscious conversations that we could bring into that. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for those. And that's what it says again, you know, like they're the tagline in lively, insightful, empathetic conversations. That's exactly what we already do here in Paradigm Shift. So it makes sense. Alicea, who was just speaking real quick? Was that, sorry, I'm like squinting. Was it Candice speaking? Who was just unmuting their microphone? If you guys want to, if you want to share, go for it. Alicea, do you want to share? Do you say something? No, maybe not. Okay.
That's fine.
Oh, was it Eloise? Who's sorry, I'm hearing someone unmute themselves. Okay. Nonetheless, let's keep things we'll keep things moving along. Again, we'll talk more about Ibble as we go. And again, for those of you who are looking to be able to get involved, follow me on there, Mr. Spider-Man. I'll follow you back. Dillon's on there as well. You can follow Dillon, and we'll post the links for that in the show note for the app. It's already in there. And yeah, just stay tuned because I'll be posting about that in our Discord. I'll be posting about it in my IG stories. And again, my focus, this is like part of my update, my focus over the next like month, in addition to hosting ongoing events for you guys and lots of other cool stuff, is Ibble. I want to be able to see what it's going to look like if I really put my focus into that. And again, to be able to kind of like get the ball rolling, host some cool discussions. And again, you guys helping out on that will help all of us out as we kind of like build a little bit momentum. And it's exciting to imagine where we'll be like in a month from there. And yeah, that's about it. Alicea, go ahead. Now I see your hands off, hand up or whatever words. Go ahead, Alicea.
Thank you so much. It's a really, it sounds like such an exciting project. Like my mind's just like flooding with, you know, potential. It sounds very exciting. I just happened to be doing some research on what's happening in like the NFT space, and particularly on TikTok and like the direction that's going in. Do you guys have any insight on this platform? Like, what is the future of like our videos and our music content? Like it, I mean, are these platforms being created so we are going to be sharing our art that way? It's all going to be turning into NFT kind of material, if that makes sense.
That I feel like that's a big question, and I don't think I necessarily have an answer for that. In terms, like I'm not even 100% sure if I'm fully understanding what exactly it is that you're asking. Like in terms of, if you want to clarify, go ahead. Maybe I misunderstood.
Yeah, you know, I'm not that well studied on it, but
okay.
Today I'm looking at what TikTok is offering in the NFT space. What does that look like? And what I can see is our music. It looks like music videos, like clips, video clips, right? That people have created. It's not just like art clips. It's music. It's video. It's the content we create. I don't know if anybody is excited or has any. I don't know if I have a question. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. If this is if any of you are involved in moving forward in that direction. I mean, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that our videos and our music, all of it is going to be, you know, blockchain technology with our you know, our stamp on it and tracked, right?
Gotcha. Okay, I think I understand. So
I mean, so exciting. There's so much potential right now. It's overwhelming. What an amazing time to be on Earth. Like there's never been an opportunity in history like this. I feel that way, you know, like it's just overwhelming and exciting. So I'm excited to be here and be part of it.
Yeah. So basically, and again, just so I'm understanding, like kind of like imagining the future where like a lot of our content could become like NFT type content, where it would be like something that would be like non-fungible tokens and like one of a kind stuff. Like the NFT stuff, like I know about, but I'm not like super like dived into it yet and stuff like that. And again, I think that's fair for a lot of us because there's only so many things we can focus in at once. I don't know if does anybody else ever reply to Alicea again. I'm in the same boat as you, Alicea, where I'm just kind of like, I can see what we're kind of like imagining in terms of just kind of like, because I do think that there is value in what we create, and I do think that, you know, whether that's in like the NFT sphere, or whether the value is just what we contribute to the community. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't fully dived into the NFT. My soul hasn't pointed me in that direction. I feel called to just kind of like make sure that the discussions are happening where we can.
Talk about the NFT section if you guys can. So Alicea, with the NFT section, like right now, I think what's everything that with the way that it's going is obviously you have the metaverse, and you have like the metaverse being one of the primary sources where people can actually have access to you. What's going to be happening is potentially it's going to be augmented reality, virtual reality, combination of sovereignty of the internet as well, because technically right now, like, you know, if you look at things like BitCloud and stuff like that, where I can go, like, you can create an Alicea coin today, and I can buy those coins, and the value of you as a contributor would increase over time depending on the amount of content that we get engaged in as well. So there's so much of different cool stuff that's happening in that session, because what I believe the NFT thinks is it's going to be more of a creator ran system where it's going to be like unlimited potentials for creation, but and people's activation of like creative arts and, you know, whatever they want to create is just going to go like boom, you know. So it's going to be cool, but at the same time also have to be very, very conscious as to where we are plugging into, because there's also a lot of other like I'm not sure if anyone has watched this movie called Ready Player One.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, that movie is pretty much like, you know, you want to know, like, you don't want to be contributing time into that space where you know, like that the big boys have all of the assets or have all of the big guns, right? And then, like, you know, we are all just the we have to fight in the metaverse to be able to kind of gain traction, or to even be able to win a game, you know. So it needs to be like, it needs to be a very equal playing field for everyone. And this is why I think right now big tech is kind of getting a bit scared, because what's happening is it's actually power is going back to the people on the sovereign internet, and they're trying to control it, but they're also trying to take over that part of it, but they can't, because the internet, they use it, we use it, and it's a free space to live in. So with the NFTs, it's going to be very exciting. Like this chat to me, I have heaps of information about it. Like this, like I'm like working with a few different people on like creating coins and stuff as well. So yeah, I have a creator coin that I've created called Pebbles, and it's going to be actually funding creative artists like yourself to be able to create cool NFT based stuff. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of things happening in the background, but it's cool.
That's awesome. Kyron, thank you so much. And Alicea, feel free to reply to that. And that's, again, like I'm there. See, like that's why we come together as a group, because amongst all of us, there's like enough wisdom to be able to solve these riddles and puzzles. But yeah, Kyron, that's exciting to hear, man. And again, I know that's a conversation that we'll have to chat a little bit more about. Alicea, go ahead and reply, and then we'll kind of get passing around to still just general updates. Go ahead, Alicea. Yeah. And thanks, Kyron.
Thank you so much for that response, Kyron. That's beautiful. What I'm seeing is that I actually have been studying this stuff like crazy, and it's mind-blowing that it's so bigger picture than most people even know. It's not just about digital art. It's so further than that. It's, you know, the musicians, all of us, our videos, even your Snapchats, and take the money part of it and the coin part of it. It's not even about that. It's about the blockchain technology and the metaverse and you're going to be able to sell, if you sell clothing, you can create your own clothing for people to buy online to wear, basically, eventually, like down the road. It's just overwhelming, the potential, but I'm sorry if I derailed our conversation at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We're here to fractal out, and again, I think that is like a good seed to plant, because I think it will be something that we'll be talking about again, just because that's kind of the thing with paradigm shift. You know, that's always been exciting, is that like the discussions we're having and the work that we're doing is evolving alongside the technology. So it's like one of those discussions is anticipating as we move into the metaverse and the VR, and again, like performances in virtual space, creation of virtual land, creation of new like digital currencies and digital assets and stuff like that. It's good things to be able to be knowledgeable about. And honestly, like for anybody here, if you guys like even feel free to like want to like host an event and do a presentation about it down the road, definitely let me know. And like, again, I think that would be something that would be good just to be able to get people educated on, because I know there's a lot for many of us to still be able to learn. So I can't wait to be able to design my own clothing in Animal Crossing and then be able to sell it for Bitcoin. That's my maybe. I don't know. Why not? Anyways, let's keep things rolling around here. Dillon, we passed over to you, but we didn't really get like a full update. So maybe let's just go back to Dillon. And then if anybody else does have to leave out early, be sure to let me know. And then again, I just want to be able to pass around to anybody else. And again, just kind of updates on where we are as a creator. If there's any visions that you want to be able to share, any challenges you're going through, let's keep things going. And then we'll get close to wrapping up by about 10:15. So Dillon, if that's cool, again, just kind of like general updates. What are you up to these days? Any projects and visions you want to be able to share, and collaborations and challenges? Go for it, dude. Welcome again.
Man, I've been going through it, honestly, just keeping it real. Like, I realized, like we were talking about earlier, that vulnerability is the most like empowering thing you can do, because I had like a following on TikTok, but I didn't have like a really firm community. I didn't have people that were really behind me. And I feel like the only way you can do that is through being vulnerable and sharing and like developing a community from that. And so lately I've just been focused on being more vulnerable, sharing like more of my personal life with that, because there's only so many times I can be like, how to meditate, how to 3 easy steps, like blah, blah, blah. Like I really want to develop something behind me. I want to be me as a creator, and however I want to show up in the present moment through that. So whether that's like doing a vlog here and there, whether that's making a sit down video, like whatever. So I've lately just been doing focusing on like platforms where I can really be myself. So just like my podcast, doing YouTube, transitioning to YouTube from TikTok, which is like been a bitch. Honestly, it's like so much more different. Like I just feel like on TikTok you can easily like reach way more people, but on YouTube it's like people actually have to click on the video. So that's been kind of something to transition into. So doing YouTube videos too. And then yeah, and I feel like last year I was really focused on like how can I like level up my income constantly and like keep on taking, but now I just want to give. Like honestly, I just want to create content. And I was also stuck in this phase of like consuming way more content and getting in my head. And so transitioning from that to like full-blown creator and just getting or like manipulating people in any way. Like I just want to give. Honestly, that's where I'm being able with thinking much and getting in my head, because I can get really analytical. So
that's it's and dude, it's great to be able to hear that, because again, like that's the true test for us as creators. Like, you know, a lot of us, it's like we're showing up as creators and maybe we're like working more than one job and we're trying to make ends meet and stuff like that, and God bless us, we hustle hard and everything. But again, to be able to kind of like feel where we're at when we're at that point where it's just like, whoa, like okay, like I've earned enough income to be comfortable right now, do I still want to create things? And I think again, you know, for everyone here, like, again, I resonate with each and every single person. And again, everybody here has kind of been brought through like intuitively us connecting, like, absolutely. Yes. You know, like be able to like feel what it would feel like to just be like, okay, like if I had $1 million, what would I be doing as a creator? And then again, just be able to start like brainstorming that now. And, you know, you realize that I'd be like, man, if I had $1 million, I'd be like creating the same things I'm creating now. So, you know, like working towards those stages where maybe you do have a little bit more freedom. And that's what I'm excited to do. I'm excited to be able to kind of like have more of that. And it's already there. Like we're that space where, again, for me, like it's like focusing on hosting events for you guys, focusing on creating cool content for Ibble, focusing on creating funny videos for TikTok and Instagram, and also getting into some stuff that maybe I haven't done in a while as well. But yeah, Dillon, anything else you want to mention? Is there anything like collaborations or anything you want to invite people in, or anything else? Because I mean, even just if anybody wants to share any feedback for what Dillon shared, and again, I appreciate the vulnerability as well, man.
One more thing is that I was actually struggling with too, is I had like this really big attachment. So like I noticed that more of the videos I made when I first started, more people would come in and more people resonated. And so I like attached myself to that video style and the kind of videos I was making. And I realized as a creator, if you're still like attaching your identity to that person that you were a year ago, the type of videos that person was creating, you're like limiting yourself. It's not going to come from the right frequency whenever you're talking, whenever you're trying to share your truth. And for me, it's so important to just show up in the present moment however I want to, whether that's like looking crazy and hit and ratchet and just saying something, or whether it's like really focused or whatever. So I think for me right now, the focus is doing YouTube, creating longer than me, and just freely sharing whatever and not giving a fuck.
That's
So
great,
that's
dude.
where I'm at.
Awesome. Anybody have any replies or just want to show some gratitude for Dillon as we hold each other up and celebrate what we're creating here? You guys are all awesome. Cool. Go for it, Nadine. Yeah.
So it was interesting you mentioned the transition between like YouTube and TikTok. I kind of had the opposite problem. So I got very comfortable with the way things work with YouTube. Moving over to TikTok was a little bit of a challenge for me. And I was really, ambitious and excited when I first started, but then definitely just like kind of didn't look at it for like a year, and then did a few here and there, but haven't been ambitious with my TikTok at all. YouTube was always just easier for me because even in the beginning, just doing like 10 or 15 minute videos and then posting them was easy. Like to make a 1 minute video on TikTok, I spent hours. And so it was a challenge for me. YouTube is definitely a more comfortable platform for me. But that being said, Brendon, you're actually the reason why I even got on TikTok in the first place. Yeah. But it's really easy to get stuck in your comfort zone and stay doing the same type of content or the same type of format that you're used to, that you're comfortable with, because it's something that you're familiar with and that is going to go over a certain kind of way, but you never really expand beyond your basic little circle because you're only going to reach so many people repeating the same stuff over and over in different ways. It's like, how are you going to meet somebody if you never leave your city? Somebody outside your city. I mean, you'll meet people there, but yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Nadine, we're happy to be able to have you on as many platforms as we can possibly manage. And guys, if you haven't already yet, Nadine does host because you're doing the tarot mostly on your YouTube, right? Like opposed to
yeah. So I do tarot, but I also do light language meditations and channeling. And then when I first started my channel, it was basically me just talking on camera about what the heck I was going through because I had nobody to talk to about it. And I thought I was like losing my mind. I'm like seeing all these things and having all these experiences and like, ET contact and, seeing spirits and elementals and playing with the weather and stuff like that and stuff. I was just like, I thought I was losing it. So I was like, well, I'm just going to talk about this downward spiral that I'm going through for anybody who wants to hear it. And I guess people wanted to hear it because, I'm still doing it 3 years later.
Well, that's awesome. Good for you, Nadine. We can kind of just, if you just want to share, if there's anything else you want to share in terms of updates and stuff like that, go ahead. We're just kind of like naturally moving into that. And Dillon, thank you again for sharing, man. And we'll make sure we hear from everybody again before we wrap up. But yeah, Nadine, anything else like what's your current focus right now? Any challenges? Anything you're envisioning for the month ahead?
So one of my biggest focuses this year, something that I got really ambitious in and then kind of fell off on as well, like I did with the TikTok, was working on collaborations doing light language music. So I actually have a song coming out soon here in the next couple days or so with Neil from Portal to Ascension. So I'm working on some stuff with him.
No way. That's exciting.
Be on the lookout, guys. It's going to be awesome. So
how long have you guys been working on that?
So he sent me some stuff about a week ago, or maybe around Christmas time. And I couldn't really work on it because it was Christmas time and we had family in town and I just really couldn't work on it. So I started working on it a couple days ago, probably about a week ago is when I started working on it. And I'll probably be finishing it up over the next couple of days. I still have to finish my light language parts and then mix everything down and then share it. But that's really my main focus for this year, is really offering more healing and activation through music, because music is a very powerful thing, especially when you're talking about how we want to change humanity and change the paradigm, shift the paradigm. Music is a huge way to do that, because it's a form of energetic healing as well as subconscious programming. The words that you say, they feed your subconscious, they build programs around that. That's why it's like, if you listen to sad music, you're going to be a sad person. And, if you listen to uplifting music, it's going to uplift you, because it creates a program around whatever you're listening to. So whatever the words are being said, the music, and not necessarily, I'm not saying sad music and all sad music is bad, because it's not. There is sad music out there, or music that would be on like a down level that actually can be very healing, because it allows you the opportunity to relate to a feeling or a situation that maybe you didn't feel like you were allowed to have that feeling, and so you needed the music to help you have that feeling and to resonate with the music and the frequency and the feeling. So I don't want anybody to take that the wrong way. I just wanted to clarify that. But music does affect the way that you feel. It also affects the way that your mind thinks, the type of content that you put into your mind, music, media, all of it, the type of TV you watch, the type of movies you watch, the type of people you hang out with, all affect your subconscious programs. So one of my things that I'm working on this year, being somebody who works a lot with the mind, with understanding programming, how the mind works, through numerology, through music, through sound, through frequency, through just energy in general, and integrate that into creating content that is very healing in more ways than one. It's appealing visually, it's fun to watch, it's entertaining, but there's an energetic level of healing included into it, as well as with the light language, you get activations and upgrades and the opportunity to evolve your DNA beyond what the base template level that it's at in that before, you had the activation or you were introduced to the music.
Well, Nadine, I'm excited to hear more of, again, just what it is that you and Neil are creating, but what you're also creating on your own. And I do want to be able to do another, not just a flowetry workshop. I was thinking about like kind of doing an old fashioned kind of open mic night. So if there's anything there you want to share, and even like your music, like that could be a stuff for like, I mean, that could be stuff for any platform really. Cause I was thinking like, it's just like, how could that work into like an Ibble thing or something like that?
Totally. That's a great idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's kind of, again, going back to the idea of kind of like doing even just like, maybe even like channeled light language thread or channeled music thread and stuff like that. That'd be fun. I love the excitement that you have in your eyes when you talk about music. So it's really cool.
Yes.
Cool.
I've been doing music for a long time. It's been my lifelong thing. I was in a family band growing up, and so it's my thing.
Cool. I'm not sure if you and Hana have like connected officially, but Hana is also a very eclectic musician as well. Hana, we can just kind of like segue here and stuff like that. But I mean, Hana, in terms of like updates, what you're up to and everything, like how's music playing a role into where your creative focus is right now, and any feedback for Nadine as well?
Yeah. With music, it's so exciting to hear about just connecting with other members in the conscious community, right? Like having those one-on-one connections. So excited for you, Nadine, and excited to hear about your song coming out. I've met Neil one time, I'm almost sure. I think we're mutual followers. So like fun to hear about those connections within the community that just continues to blossom out and grow. When it comes to music, for me, I have a year ahead of really like focusing on myself. I started one-on-one sessions. So that's how I've been doing like making most of my money and like connecting with people on a one-on-one basis as well, doing like energy readings and past life healings is kind of what it has blossomed into, which is really neat because I am sort of just growing into my abilities every day. Earlier you had asked us like, what are we doing to stay grounded and like centered as a conscious creator? And I've been growing a lot lately. I'm close to 100,000, which is like so exciting. And I just started, today was day 25 of doing breath work and meditation every day. I remember like there's some days where I like still dread doing it, but I feel amazing after. And today I took like 2 hours to like just sit in meditation and send love to so many people and have so much healing and release. And it feels like doing that every day has just allowed me to fill my cup up so that I'm able to, you know, do lives consistently, grow my Blossom Besties community, or the Beautiful Blossom community. I kind of go back and forth between the two, but I'm thinking of starting YouTube, which is exciting. I have a producer who's been reaching out to me, and I think I'll be recording like my first official album this year. And then I have like other friends that I've been working on more of like a conscious quarantine awakening album that should probably be coming out maybe next year or something. I don't know, divine timing with that all. But it's definitely intermixing in a very beautiful way where I'm just like able to support myself and be able to create things that I love, whether that is like content about aliens or like I just started an inner child healing series, and like the first video at first had like under 100 likes in the first day, and usually my videos don't really take off after the first day, but that one now has like over 600 likes, which is like a fun feeling to be starting something that people are interested in, that people have asked for, and that people are responding to and asking for more content that I feel like I'm really apt to be putting out there because I'm very in touch with my inner child. People like, I think often see that within me. And I think that's a big part of the magic that I experience, which speaking of magic, I'm moving to a fairy forest fantasy home that my mom was guided to buy from her. Both of her parents passed this year and her brother passed 2 years ago. So through the angelic guidance, we were literally guided to a street that like has practically my uncle's name in it, which is crazy, and a home where I'm going to have like a big kind of like loft space for like a yoga silk and a big meditation space and just like a really like healing home in the woods, which is going to be so magical. It feels like the universe was like, wish fulfillment right away. You don't need to wait until you have to retire to go live in the woods like you always thought. Like you can live out your granny fantasies in your 20s, and I'm just like so thrilled. I'm thinking, what else? I'm starting a book club on Sunday, like a really open, just Blossom Besties book club, where you don't even need to buy the book. Like if you don't want, I'm going to be reading sections. So kind of like sort of semi-inspired, I would assume, on a subconscious level by you, Brendon, and just the space that you create. So thank you for the ways in which you support all of us in creating our conscious communities that then blossom off and connect in beautiful ways. And let's see, I made a little list so I wouldn't forget anything when it came to me. I have like it all blocked off, and then it's like Blossom Besties community, breathwork and meditation every day, inner child healing series, and then stagnant periods, depression, release on Christmas. So I did go through like a lot of darkness at the end of last year. I think a lot of people have been experiencing that darkness rising up at the end of last year. I mean, like all last year, right? But really specifically, I've noticed a lot of people going through physical things, emotional things, collective crazy things. I, try not to stay too tapped into, but then inevitably feel because we're all kind of connected to the collective, I think. So with all of that, kind of what we were talking about earlier with Cassius, like I really feel that it's beautiful to be able to share and kind of like be vulnerable together, because we've spent so many years bottled up. Like, to heck with that baloney. I don't know if we're not supposed to say bad words. To heck with that baloney though. We are now going to cry on camera when it, makes sense. Maybe not like all the time, but like maybe 12 times in your years long career or whatever, it's good to have those moments of vulnerability and just like letting each other know, like, it's okay. Like we're all healing together. Even people who are happy in videos aren't perfect all the time. Yeah, I appreciate you so much, Brendon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. One-on-one sessions have been awesome. Music is big. Thanks for asking. And so excited to hear about all of you and everything that we're up to. Yeah, I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Hana. Happy to have you here. And again, I just kind of want to be able to make sure, I wanted to go back to Nadine as well, and also with Hana and anybody else here. Again, we're kind of getting close to wrapping it up. If there's any challenges that you guys are going through, anything that you feel you might need some help with as well. And I did just want to mention, just for context and stuff, because like Hana, like if you guys haven't seen, Hana broadcast live on TikTok like quite regularly, and I think it's like, again, like her presence on TikTok lives is quite interesting as a technique to be able to kind of like help introduce people more to like who she is as an individual. And I assume like that's where a lot of like the personal readings and the one-on-ones come out of. Like you'll be like kind of casually hanging out with people. Like if you've ever seen Hana's lives, like she's just, it's like Hana's Playhouse, and she's always just like doing something different and playing music and doing tarot and dancing and laughing and having fun. And then I guess like and I'm just kind of like curious for you to share just kind of like your techniques. But again, it's a lot of it's like live broadcast, and then from that you got your services ready for people to be able to access. Hey everyone, thanks for joining in. If you guys want a one-on-one, click the link in my profile. So is it that kind of style you find works well for you?
Yeah, thanks for asking. It's interesting because I just started doing one-on-ones as my only form of like income a couple months ago. And so it is new for me. But what I've found is that, like you're saying, like I share my personality, and so people get to know me, and then I don't even like really advertise too much. I'm like, actually my guides have kind of been pushing me to tell people that I offer this more frequently so that they don't have to like go search to find out. I do one-on-ones, but I find that lately when people book with me, I then can like be like, oh, like I have a session with whoever, or I have a session later, or I just have an amazing session. And then people will be like, oh, what do you do for work? Or lately people will ask, how do you pay your rent? Which is such a like specific way to say that you're worried about your like general like base level Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's like, I'm worried about living. And so I'm worried about how you live and how you pay for your own housing, which is funny because I'm also like, I just graduated college. I live with my mom. Like I don't pay rent. But then I have the opportunity when people are like, what do? You stream every day. I always see you live all the time. And I'm like, yep, because I decided that that's what I want to do for work, is connect with people. But yeah, pretty much like, every once in a while I'll have sessions and I'll mention it that way. Or one of the things that I'll do is lead guided meditations. And sometimes they're like very much like actual real meditations where people will like come and have like deep experiences, and they'll kind of like maybe mention at the end of those that I do one-on-ones. And I also do guided like meditation journeys that are a lot more fun and dynamic. And I actually like had one person say like, oh yeah, like I found you one day and you were doing a soul journey, which is what I call them, which is like we go on a journey with each other's souls. Like when I do them one-on-one, it's like a journey into that person's soul. So I feel like it also is very intriguing for that person to hear like, you could have an experience kind of like this, but more focused on you. So yeah, kind of all that you said, like letting people know who I am. A lot of the people who I work with have like gotten to know me over months. And that also makes me more comfortable than like posting on TikTok, going viral for some like buzz thing that I can do, and then having like a bunch of people who just saw that one thing are now expecting that one thing. It's like, oh, you can channel an inner child. Like now I want to book with you for that exact purpose. And if that doesn't happen, like I'm going to be disappointed, like you, whatever. So I have very much like crafted my business around being super fluid, because that's how I like to live. I'm like, I'm not going to work for anyone. And on top of that, I want to do what I love, which is like talking to you all. So yeah. Sorry, I can talk a lot if you can't tell. That's why I go live for hours.
I feel like, again, both Nadine and you, man, like if you guys were to, like, you guys would both be able to talk for hours, I'm sure, between the two of you. Nadine is like, we've talked about that before. But Nadine, I mean, even if there's anything you want to reply with Hana, and going back, I'm not sure between the two, is there any, Nadine, did you want to reply? But also, again, any challenges either for, because I wanted to go back to Nadine because we didn't fully finish there, but then also for Hana. Nadine, even if you just want to reply, and then any challenges or any in collaborations you want to invite, and anything else, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess one of my biggest challenges has been getting back on track with things, because one of the things that happens when you're very, very regular with stuff and you're very routine with it, it gets a little bit frustrating, and you start kind of like, I'm not having very much fun. and I'm not really looking forward to going live tonight. So what I had to do is take a real big step back, and I, since basically September, have had to take a major, massive step back, like from everything, my business, my channel, all of my social media. And so that's been my biggest challenge, is kind of getting back into getting on camera again, making content again, making music again. I stopped making music for like a year. I kind of went through a lot, you know, with a lot of changes. I moved 3 times in the past year, you know, big moves, like long distances. So I guess my biggest challenge is going to be getting back into kind of the routine, the flow that I was in, without allowing it to get over my head like it was, to the point where I was like wanting to self-isolate and not wanting to answer my messages because my inbox would get so flooded that it was just so overwhelming that I just didn't want to look at any of them. That is one of the things that I'm definitely going to have to work on moving forward, especially in 2022, is being available for other people. But first, I have to be available for myself in order to be available for those people. So finding the balance between being available for myself, showing up for myself, and also being available and being able to show up for you guys through content, through one-on-one stuff that we do together, through musical collaborations. Whatever that is, joining these groups. So I haven't really been around too much lately.
Well, yeah, again, if anybody else wants to reply to what Nadine was experiencing as well. And yeah, like it's interesting. I've had that happen plenty of times, and especially even like with the holidays and everything like that, where it's like, as creators, having momentum is like such a valuable thing. And there will, like, that's the thing, like it will be experiences where like life will happen, we'll be busy, things will require attention, and then we literally just kind of have to shift gears. And then it's having that degree of confidence to be able to kind of say like, okay, like I'm going to get back into things, but even as I'm getting back into things, maybe I'm going to be a little bit gentle. Maybe it's just kind of like one broadcast just to kind of like as practice, just to kind of like feel things out. And then it's just kind of like, okay. And then again, I think it's okay for us to change our routines and our schedules. I'm constantly doing that. Like it's like just kind of like a regular thing where it's just like, if I can fit it in, great. If I can't, I'm not going to stress it. But again, I'm just going to kind of like see what other opportunities are available for me. And that's kind of even like right now, like with where I am, with where I was just like, oh man, like the Ibble thing kind of showed up where I'm just like, ooh, like this actually kind of like works well with the fact that like my time is totally shifting in new dimensions of space. But yeah, Nadine, like how are you feeling just in terms of like the momentum that you're building and everything right now? And is there anything else we can kind of like do to help you at the moment?
Yeah, the momentum has actually been building better than I ever expected. When I first started my channel, I never expected it to ever really go anywhere or reach anyone. It was just like, so I could share videos with my sister and you know, be able to kind of back and forth, because I would light language back and forth with her. And I didn't really share it publicly because I was very much a little bit embarrassed by it, and just like kind of people are going to think I'm weird, and people are going to think I'm crazy and losing my mind, and also just being kind of like a shy, introverted person in general, and not really wanting to share that part of myself. But when I did finally get out there, it really was, it was very slow start, and then it just kind of picked up. And this past year, especially, even though things have been so difficult for me, has been a massive kind of like lifting up of my business. So what I want to really accomplish the next year going forward is, the foundation has already been built over the past year. So building something on top of that foundation that is very, what is the word? Inspired? That is inspiring. That is offering me opportunities, as well as motivating me to continue moving forward with my goals, my content, and then also just connecting with people. Helping people remember who they are is a big part of what I do. So the more people I can connect with, the more I can help you guys remember your own power, and that you're more than just a simple human, and you're more than just a body. You are a soul, and there's so much to that people don't even realize, because we're just kind of stuck in this box that society put us in and said, you're a human and these are the things that you can do, and everything else beyond that is science fiction.
Very much so. Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to be able to, and again, Eloise does a good job of posting when they're going live on YouTube for their broadcast in the Discord. So if you guys are keeping an eye on that, you'll see the post there. Do you have a regular schedule? Like right now, is there kind of like a time slot that you just want to plug real quick for your terrace?
So every Friday, I go live at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time, pretty much. And that was really consistent for a while. And then over the past year, definitely fell off on that. But 8 p.m. every Friday, and then I'm going to start doing tarot on Tuesdays. So Tuesdays and Fridays, I'm going to start live streaming, and then I'm going to start trying to put out content in between that. I am working on trying to get my channel monetized because I do have 3 kids. I've got to try to support us all a little bit better. And so that would be very beneficial for us. So my goal is to get enough watch time because I have enough subscribers, I just don't have enough watch time to get my channel monetized. So that's also one of my goals moving forward this year, is to be able to do that. You guys were mentioning before, how Hana, how you're using your connection with people to support you. After I got sick 3 years ago, I couldn't go back to working a regular job. So my only option was to start a business. So my YouTube channel was the outlet for me to start building a community and a following and a connection with people so that I could have a job that I could support myself on. I mean, yeah, I don't make a lot of money. I'm not rich. But I make enough to pay my rent. I make enough to pay my bills, and I make enough to feed my kids. And I work every day, and I work a pretty busy schedule. And it's like having a regular job, except for if I wake up that morning with a migraine, I don't have to explain to my boss why I can't come into work. So it's been very beneficial for me. And I feel like I've been able to help a lot of people in the process because of the type of work I do. I'm going to help you guys remember who you are. I'm a hypnotherapist. And so I teach you how to do self-healing. I basically teach you guys how to heal yourselves through the inner journeys that we do together, because my goal is to eventually teach you guys all to not need me or people like me anymore, because you know how to do these things for yourself.
Very cool. Very cool. I'll just, can I offer a little bit of my own wisdom into some of the things that you mentioned there? Yeah, I would just say and again, we're getting close to wrapping up the circle. So I know a lot of like, even just stuff I'm getting into, it'll be stuff that we'll have to talk a little bit more. And even if it's just like one-on-one, that's fine as well. You mentioned like the idea of like hoping to be able to like monetize the YouTube. That would be something that like, and again, this is just from my personal experience, but like from my personal experience, I would say like, if it happens, great, but don't depend on it. And don't really even, I personally like wouldn't put too much focus towards that. Because if it is kind of like this idea that it's kind of being held onto, that might almost be blinding you to like other ways that you can also kind of like invite in more energy and support and income and finance that way. Because like, I know like with the monetization on YouTube, like that's something where it's like we got to be looking at like really like kind of like high viewerships and high subscribers before it actually becomes like viable. Again,
totally.
Yeah. So I mean, I personally, I would just say like, if you're working towards that, great. But then at the same time, making sure that it's not something that's accidentally like kind of like preventing you from seeing other forms of income building. I know you're doing it all. But again, that's just from my own experience. Cause I know a lot of people, they're just like, they have this vision where it's just like, I'm going to create a YouTube channel, I'm going to monetize it, and that's going to be my income. Any entrepreneur should have multiple streams of income. If the monetization on YouTube works, great. But my experience with YouTube, personally, I didn't even go for it because it was one of those things where it's just like, man, like I don't have much control over that. Like that could be taken away from me like way too easily. And that's where even for you, Nadine, like I know we've kind of talked about this before. If you do want to talk about like the idea of like creating like a Patreon for you, feel free to talk to me about that.
Oh, I had a Patreon.
Oh yeah. What am I talking about? Because like, because that's what I was thinking, like with the Patreon and again, excuse me for my ignorance, like what is it that you're offering through your Patreon right now?
So I actually was doing all of my sessions through my Patreon originally, and it got to a point where I had too many Patreons and not enough booking sessions, trying to get people in every month for their sessions. And it was getting to the point where I was having to make a lot of stuff to make up for the sessions that people weren't either able to show up for, or I didn't have room for them on the schedule. And so it was actually costing me a lot of money to replace people's sessions with products from my store and ship them out and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm barely making my rent right now with what I have, and I can't keep doing it this way. So I basically was just like told all my Patreons, like, I'm going to have to close down my Patreon. You can continue doing sessions with me regularly. You'll just have to pay outside of Patreon. So instead of it automatically taking the money out, you just pay through PayPal or Venmo or something like that. So when I do reinstate my Patreon, and that's going to be next month or the month after, I'm only going to have one tier, only one. And I actually got this because I looked over yours and I liked the way you had your setup better. Only one that's going to offer sessions, and the rest are going to be different levels because when I started it, my goal was to have breathwork meditations, dance meditations, musical meditations, where we sing and tone and do music together and stuff like that, to kind of, because toning is one of the most powerful ways to move energy through the body. So that was something I wanted to integrate that into my Patreon, because it's not something I super feel comfortable doing on YouTube necessarily. Like, I started doing it for a while, the dance meditations, and I got so much negative commentary and trolls and inappropriate stuff that was coming at me that I just was like, I'm not doing that anymore, at least not on YouTube. And so I stopped doing that, and I wanted to move that over to Patreon. That was actually what kind of inspired me to start the Patreon, so that I could offer content that I didn't feel comfortable sharing with publicly on YouTube, that I could share with a more private circle. So that will come eventually. The monetization with YouTube was more to inspire me to make more content, because I'm the type of person that needs something, a little motivation, even if it's not something that great. Like, the money is probably not going to be that much from other people I know that have monetized YouTube. They don't make shit. No offense or anything, but they don't. It's more to motivate me to continue creating content to get to that point, because it's like a goal that I want to accomplish. And I'm a Libra, Leo, Scorpio, and I'm just kind of like, when I have a goal that I want to accomplish, I'm like, there's nothing that can hold me back. So
okay.
yeah,
Good. That makes sense. Good for you. Yeah, it's kind of like an achievement unlock within the game kind of thing. So cool.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna say, like, with the Patreon, again, this would be stuff, like, talk to me about this afterwards as well, because like with the Patreon, like even if, like, I think it's good that you were reassessing your Patreon to be able to say, hey, this isn't working, and if you need to put it on pause, that's okay, because like, one of the simplest ways with the Patreon that, again, from my experience, is, again, kind of like mimicking this idea where you're hosting like these individual events where you can bring a lot of people into an event. And so that's where like the events could be a lot of the stuff that you were talking about earlier. They could be song related, again, light language meditation related, guided meditation related. So you're using your tarot to be able to promote these side events, and then keep, like, I don't even know if doing the page, like, I would still say like the individual sessions may be something that you might just want to keep on the side, and then the Patreon would be access to these like monthly exclusive events, and then it just becomes like a super simple thing, and then the people who do still want the readings would still book the readings individually. But again, like that's just kind of like something that I've kind of like worked with other people being able to do. But if you need help with like hosting events and just getting more confident with that, 100%, like, I'm here to be able to support it. And yeah, the clarity comes as we kind of just keep moving forward. But yeah, I can see it. So cool. Guys, I'm getting a little bit tired. It's been a long day, and this has been an awesome discussion. Nadine, is there anything else you want to mention just before we get close to wrapping it up?
No, thank you very much. And it's an honor always to be here with you guys and connect and collaborate with all of you in this space.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Nadine. And again, for everybody here, go show Nadine some support on YouTube at The Fascinating Fairy, and also on Instagram at The Fascinating Fairy. And yeah, if you're looking to book a reading, be sure to reach out to them, and stay tuned for their broadcast on Fridays at 8 p.m. PST, 11 p.m. EST. So cool. And we'll post about that in the Discord. Again, let's just get close to wrapping it up. Alicea, did you want to be able to just kind of like check in and share? I know we're kind of like getting close to the end and stuff like that, but again, for everybody here, anything you want to be able to share in terms of like updates, things you're focusing on, or anything else real quick before we wrap it up?
Thank you so much for asking. Thank you, Nadine, and I just listening so much with the content that you create, it sounds like, and I'm trying to bridge this gap of like coming out of the closet and finding the services that I offer, but they're very in line with some of the people who are on this channel. So yeah, there's a lot of value here for me. If I just want to say this out loud, just to throw some accountability out there. You started this session asking us, what are you working on right now? I have small baby steps, action items. One of them, I don't know if it's a baby step. One of the things I need to do, I don't know if it's a creation or it is.
Oh, I think we had a glitch in the matrix there. Alicea, Alicea, are you still with us, Alicea? She's still there. Alicea, go ahead. You can try again and jump right back in.
Yeah, I'm just throwing this out there so it's, there's some accountability. Basically, I was very well networked in the community that I live in, and I was a public figure, very involved in the local community. And basically, I went, I just dropped off the map. I left everything I was doing, my career, and to go through my my healing process. And I don't do anything on Facebook, but basically I need to come out of the spiritual closet in my local community, because I'm needed here. I'm needed here. I believe that. So I have a vision of doing like a Facebook, like death and rebirth. Like I just need to show up as a new person. Like, hey, I've been gone for 2 years and I'm a new person, and what does that look like? Because there is some resistance there. There's no fear. I don't think there's any fear of like rejection. It just needs to happen. So thank you so much for letting me say that out loud, to speak it into existence. And I'm so excited to check out everybody's YouTube channels, and everything you're doing sounds so beautiful. Even so, like, I channel a lot of light language. I incorporate it into my music, almost like 50-50 now. Like the light language comes out so much easier than real or English words, where it's like half of my day or half of the words that I speak is light language or just tone or vibration, right? So it's so inspiring to hear Nadine speak about, what she's doing, and that, she had to go through it, just starting that process of exposing yourself and incorporating it. And this is our true future, and we got to show up and do it. So I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicea. I'll just say here real quick, and then we'll kind of just go around the circle and just any closing thoughts and gratitude. But again, Alicea, I appreciate everything you shared there. And again, like for anybody here, like at any point, for those of you involved in this meeting, and even for those of you who tune in, if you guys ever want to book like one-on-one sessions with me, please go ahead and reach out to me. We can do that. And again, those are there to be able to help you guys get clarity on your next steps as conscious creators. So that's where if Nadine, if you're feeling it's just like, all right, I'm ready to take that step, maybe that might be something where we might just want to do an individual session so that you can just feel confident with like what that next move is going to be for you. And I would say, again, when I bring you guys here together, why I do this is sometimes often like revealed through the process of it happening. But part of the process is a process that, with us coming together as creators, we realize that like, I hope that you guys experience this, where you hear other people talking about things and you're just like, oh, that's actually kind of similar to what I'm going through, or that's something like I'm actually like wanting to do what somebody else is doing. So I hope that just by seeing where all of us are at different points in our path as a creator, we can kind of take collective inspiration. And again, also just being able to celebrate the awesome work that we're doing wherever we are on the path. So it's been an awesome time here as always, guys. I look forward to being able to do these more. My intention is to be able to have these conscious creator support circles about like every 2 or 3 weeks. And again, sometimes we'll change them up where they'll be a little bit more prompt oriented. This one obviously is the first one of the new year. So I kind of wanted to just get a chance to just kind of check in, see where everyone's at, and allow ourselves to just be able to share in the excitement of that. And let's just go around the circle one last time, just be able to share any just kind of like closing thoughts, maybe any accountability or intention for yourself, like what are you going to do? What's your next step? And just any gratitude with that as well. So anybody who just wants to be able to do that short and sweet, and then we will be wrapped up for today. Just go ahead and put your hand up real quick, and then I'll pass it over to you guys there as well. And again, we got 6 people left in the circle, so we'll get close to wrapping up in a minute. Parker, was your hand up there? If so, yeah, go ahead, Parker.
So my intention is to enjoy the process as a creator, because a lot of the time we can, get caught into the nitty gritty of the logistics and how is this project done, and I have to do that post on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, and keeping track of all these platforms. But lately I felt this, even though I do have a lot of projects going on, I felt this like in the moment when I'm working on something to just give that my immediate attention and to just feel the bliss of following and expressing my own creativity in that particular moment and giving that my full focus and attention. And I just wanted to quickly mention that pretty much all of the services that I do, all the things on that you see on Focus Shift, whether it's 3D animation or motion graphics or video editing, or you need an intro for your channel, I do offer as a service, and you can hit me up at Focus Shift Media on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you, Parker, and appreciate the offer of your service. And again, I would encourage you guys to take that up, even if it is just like a short intro for your channel. If you're creating a YouTube channel, like, man, like a little bit of work there totally spices things up. And that could even be something you could like slap onto some other videos that you're doing as well. So again, Focus Shift Media on Instagram and TikTok. Parker, thank you again. And again, Parker, feel free to just reminding you to, and for anybody, like if you guys got any services, post those into the Discord in the service channel, and just keep us updated there as well. Cool. Okay, guys. I gotta keep this short and sweet. We might not be able to hear from everyone. Lacey needs my assistance as soon as I can get off this call. So anybody else who just wanted to be able to share any quick gratitude, please go ahead and do that. And it's okay. I got like 2 more minutes. So anybody else just closing gratitude, short and sweet. You guys are all awesome. You guys are all too kind. You guys are just like, no, Brendon, go help Lacey. It's okay. It's more important. I feel that. So Dillon, go ahead. Yeah. Just closing comments. That's fine. Go for it, Dillon.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to say this because I feel like anytime I proclaim something, it always happens, and I really like hold myself accountable. But for 2022, as far as like abundance and income, I really feel like I'm already on track for hitting 6 figures and stuff. So my goal was like 10K a month, and we're already like halfway there so far. So I'm already pretty much hitting that now. But I just wanted to say, like, you know, if you have any goals relating to your creator journey, just know that you can do that, and you don't have to feel guilty about charging people for your stuff. And it's more than possible. Like, seriously, like I've been full-time for about 2 years now, and it's like more than possible. So I just wanted to say that to everybody. Like, I'm only 19. I know a lot of people here, you know, you can do it. It's really possible for everyone. Like, age is no limit. You can do it. So yeah, that's all I want to say.
Awesome. Thanks, Dillon. And Dillon, we'll touch base on the Ibble stuff there as well, man. I'm gonna keep an eye open for any things that we got going on. And yeah, I'm excited. And thank you again for reaching out about that. And I'm excited again, just for the people that we talked about today to be able to join us on there as well, dude. But thank you for leading by example, and congratulations on all the, not just on your personal success, but again, on the success in the ways that you're helping people as well. That's what it's about. So thank you, Dillon. Cool. Anybody else? Just closing gratitude real quick. You guys are good? Okay, cool. All right. Okay, let's wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. My name is Brendon, Mystic Spider-Man. You guys have been a part of another Conscious Creator Support Circle. If you're looking for more of the Conscious Creator Support Circles, again, they're part of our Media Dojo series. The link for that's in the info below. We've done about like 7 or 8 of those. Some of them are on specific topics, so go back and check that out. Join the Discord, join on Patreon if you're looking to be able to support and get involved with future ongoing events. Reach out to me for individual sessions, tarot, conscious media creation coaching. Join me on Ibble, and send me a direct message anytime if you guys have any questions. And all the links for the creators today are in the info for this video. And yeah, we'll wrap it up with that. So feel free to leave your comments and gratitude for watching on YouTube in the future, and Spotify on Paradigm Shift Radio, and go back and enjoy some past episodes. So feel free to join me in waving goodbye to all the amazing people. Thank you guys so much. We love you guys. We love you. You guys can unmute yourself and just make some noise. Happy kind of new moon, stuff like that. We love you guys.
Sending love.
All right. Much love, everyone. Talk to you later. Much love.